You know how like you follow artists for a while and then you're like, how come they're not on socials? Like for example, for a longest time, like Craig Mullins like really didn't do interviews or at least
Yeah.
from I'm on the East Coast, so I never was on the West Coast. I never went to like Art Center or any of those places. I never saw that stuff in person. And so, but I from the East Coast, I was like very closely following the whole concept art, everything, FZD, all that stuff, just following it like very closely and wanting to be a concept artist. That was like my goal to work on video games because I just played the shit out of Halo all throughout high school,
Same. Yeah.
Halo 2, Halo 3, and so to the point where I was like, I think I can be pro. And then there's no fucking way I could have been pro. There's no way. But I just played it. My grades just tanked. That's all I did was play Halo, and then eventually COD, and then. But I was like, I want to make art for this because I'm like a sci-fi nerd, so I love sci-fi, and movies and sci-fi books, everything like that. And every time I watch a sci-fi movie, I get like re-inspired. Like, all right, tonight I'm changing my life. I'm gonna become an author or something like that. Like I always feel that, and then I burn out, and then I realize, oh, it's a school night. There's no way I can do that between now and like tomorrow morning. And then I just end up playing video games or something. But
It's interesting that Halo was also the thing that made me like in high school. The first Halo was like, man, I want to figure out, is there a way to, obviously people make this, is there a job to do this for a living? Like, how do you do this? I don't know.
yeah,
Like how to, like, I
yep,
like, I want to learn how to get better at art. It'd be awesome to make like levels and architecture. I love all this Forerunner stuff. I'd love to like build levels and level design and like, uh, and that was like the spark of like, I need to figure this out. How do
the
you do
guilty
this? How to
spark.
for a living? How do you get a job? Yeah, like all that stuff. Like that was fascinating to me, and it took a long time. But like the initial goal was like, I want to work at Bungie on Halo and design Forerunner architecture, and that was like the like I want to do this.
Yeah,
And I ended up doing a bunch of other stuff, but eventually I finally did get to work on Halo when it was 343, and I got to help make the Forerunner architecture, like the legacy. I don't know what people called it, like Legacy Forerunner or Legacy Forerunner Plus or whatever, where it's just like, what would Bungie do if they had modern tools and modern
oh,
fidelity, and what would that
interesting.
look like? And try to
Yeah,
faithfully adapt that and
yeah,
make it look as good as possible. And I was the one kind of leading the charge on that. And it seemed like the fans
dude. Okay,
loved how all that looked in Infinite. And
the big thing in my heart that I'm so kind of I still can't believe I'm talking to you right now because I've listened to you and then other people that are like in your tier. I don't know, like I'm like down here and I'm like looking up on this mountain and there's like these gods. No, dude, I'm just gonna just I know it's uncomfortable, but I'm just gonna get it out because that's how I feel. There's other artists that have come and gone that have like swapped in and out, like some type of Mount Rushmore type thing that have come in and out. Like for the longest time, it was like Craig Mullins, Jamie Jones, obsessed with their work. How do they do what they do? Like pixel peeping. I remember I would go and like Google Images back when Google Images was like really good, and you could go into the advanced filters, and I would put like 40 megapixels or megabytes or whatever size images, and I would put in like Destiny 1 concept because I know Jamie Jones worked on it, and I put like Destiny 1 concept
yeah,
art, and I would find these ultra high res like 8K. I think they must have been on some server like I don't know. Like I
yeah,
think I got because I found even the Destiny when Destiny 1 came out, there was these posters they gave out of like the planet and then like the giant thing. But I found a
right.
PSD file and it had like crop marks and stuff in there. And I was like, oh my god, I found something.
Interesting.
I had a blog for a long time
It's
too of
weird to
just
like.
documenting these like high res concept art images because I was obsessed with like looking at them and studying them.
It's interesting to see kind of this might be before your time, but like before there was like all this like there wasn't very many online forums stuff. So, like when I was starting, it was like Sijin. It was like a Zabi Eng, who's like a Valve artist,
Okay,
and he
okay.
had like this really like simple forum. But that's where like Craig Mullins and Jamie Jones, like Craig would be doing daily paintings, and like all of us, it was like Sparth
Wow.
and David Levy, like Vile, Jamie Jones, and like all these like early like Theo Prinz and everyone were like kind of there in our formative days. I was
Damn.
like way below all these guys, but like Craig Mullins was painting every day and basically like
What?
laying down, laying down
What?
you just saw like a master like lifting weights every day. You're like, how did you do that? Like
Wow.
that's incredible. That's like the coolest thing. Um, and
I've
that
heard
to me
about
was like some
that.
of the most formative years of like, because there wasn't really YouTube videos. There was no
Nope.
like Noman videos. This was like
No.
way before any of that. And so like that was, I think, a lot of our education. I remember Sparth was like, that's Sparth and David Levy and all those guys like testing out new techniques and stuff. And you're like, oh my God, how did you do that?
Yeah.
Um, that was like the North Star back in the day when we were all like just figuring out like, how do you digital paint? How do you
Yeah.
do this
I
stuff? How do
remember
you even like
I remember going
make
on
concept
like
art? Or
there was a website called conceptart.org and then CG Hub or something like that. Those were the two that
yeah,
I went
yeah,
to, and then I think they went down or whatever, something happened, and then eventually out of the ashes sort of rose like ArtStation. But ArtStation is not really
yeah,
like
yeah.
I don't personally use it a ton. I never really quite got into it because every time I'd go there, it'd be like the most professional work. I'd be like, okay, well, I don't think I have a, I have like, it's better now,
It's
but I
definitely
used to
different.
have like
Like a
really bad.
portfolio site kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, but
But
like,
like Cision was more like it was almost like a long. I guess it would be like it basically looks like what Reddit is now,
yeah,
like a
yeah.
long Reddit thread of just like 10,000 pages of daily paintings from
Mm-hmm.
everyone, and
Mm-hmm.
it was super. It's so simple now, but like I don't know, some really good memories of all that.
When,
What else was like? Oh, that's what I was gonna say was like since like finding things on Google also, there's been like a weird degradation of like search over the years. Like I remember
yeah,
when we were on Elysium and stuff, and like you're trying to find images, like you could find the craziest HD, whatever, and now you kind of can't find anything.
yep,
And if you do find something, it's like a WebP that can't
yep.
be downloaded and
Oh,
that's cringe. And it's
dude.
like, what is
Oh
happening?
my God, it's so yes.
I
Oh,
feel like actually, to be honest, Pinterest is almost like what the old Google used to be now. Somehow, I
really?
don't know what they got some cool algorithm or something, but I
Huh.
use that way more now. Where it's like, I want this image, and it shows you a bunch of crazy stuff that's similar to that, and you go down a rabbit hole of like aesthetic and
Yeah.
style. Um,
I
I don't know. Yeah, it's interesting to see like where technology goes, how it's adapted or morphing, or
yeah.
there used to be a moment in time when something was great and then it's morphed into something else, but some of that is now over here and it's just like figuring out.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it was sort of like, well, basically I've always been trying to like make my own IP, like basically what I'm doing now, like making
Yeah.
Huxley make my own IP.
I even remember you posting like the drawings of Huxley in like 2013 or something,
Yeah,
super
it's a long time
early,
ago.
and I've heard you up to until recently talk about in interviews and just like podcast episodes and just how it's come, and then the documentary that you did. I saw that. I sent it to
Yeah.
a buddy of mine who makes graphic novels, and I was like, dude, this is so inspiring me right now. Like, this is insane. Immediately made me like dig up my old like sketches of some like story that I made in college, and like since then I've literally just been like at night in bed just like, oh, this idea, and I just like write it and record it in my phone, like what if this was the ending, like, just I'm not a that's the thing is like coming up with your own stories is like I'm not a writer. This is just from my experience, like I'm not a writer. I watch cool movies, I can read cool stories and acknowledge that like how
Mhm.
good they are. Oh, the twist is so good, didn't see it coming. But when I think of it, I'm like, that sounds so cringe, like that ending is so bad, like everyone's gonna see it coming from a mile away. This is all like that's how I feel. And then obviously, it's the imposter syndrome sets in, and then I'm just like, why am I even doing this? I should stop. I should let other people who know what they're doing do. And it
Well, I
just
think,
snowballs.
yeah, well, I think a lot of it too for me is like we only have a certain amount of energy every day to do things. And a lot of the times it's easy to get caught up in like we see something like some big movie from some big studio and we're like, oh, that was so stupid, why did we do that? And we just like
Oh,
shit on
interesting.
it or get mad about
Oh,
it.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
we
for sure.
use that energy to like not do anything
Yeah.
other than like
Just shit on
put
something.
out this like debate or whatever about it.
Yeah.
It's like instead of saying that was interesting, this worked, this didn't work, I'm going to use that energy to make my thing because I'm going to make the thing that I want to see. Like
Mm-hmm,
instead
mm-hmm.
of like being
Okay.
negative about things
Yeah,
that you don't like, I'd rather use that energy to make the thing that I would like to see out there, right?
that's a
Like
very
we're in a
mature.
novel position where we can create things,
Yeah.
and so it's like, yeah, I just like
Yep.
thinking of it more that way. Like we only have so much energy. I'd rather invest that energy into like something that I think is amazing. Maybe other people will think it's cool,
Yeah.
but hopefully it's the movie or the book or the story or whatever that no one else is making, and I would love to see. And I think that's what it's kind of like our duty as artists
Mm-hmm.
to hopefully try to do something like that and
God.
bring these new things that we keep saying we want to see, but no one's gonna make.
Yeah.
'Cause
I
it's risky, you know.
Man, there's so many things there. So first off, like the first thing I thought of like is when people watch something or consume something and then they're like, it's not quite what I wanted. I wanted it to be this. I think that's where like fan fiction and fan art comes from because people like hear a
Yeah.
story and they're like, those two should have fallen in love. This is predictable. These should have
Right.
fallen,
Right.
and
Right.
you ship like two different characters that, and then fans go for the fanfics because they're way more compelling or written by fans. Like the passion is there. Also, fan art, which is like, wouldn't it be cool if the director showed this part of the world that they never really showed, or they kind of alluded to this, but wouldn't it be cool if there was an alternate thing, like a plot change, or this character did die or did die, and then like there's entire like fan arts that get created off of that, and I think that's always so cool to see, especially as like a fan of some of these things. But yeah, I think there's another aspect to once you see something, you're like, oh, like I'm gonna do it. There's a bit of arrogance because we all know like making a movie or a game or a comic book or anything, it's like it's hard. And then once like money gets involved, other
Yeah.
people's opinion get involved, it just becomes very like you start tailoring it to whatever the market wants or the focus groups or
Well,
whatever.
that's interesting though because that's part of the reason I started Huxley was and I didn't really post anything about it for
No,
years.
you
I didn't
didn't.
show anyone or post anything other than like my girlfriend, now wife.
Mm,
She was the only one that had like my only springboard for
yeah.
certain things. But a lot of it was just like I don't want to like be like posting as I go
Mm,
because I didn't want that to happen. I didn't want to post like a page and then there's some random character in the background where they're like, wow, that got the most likes. Why did they like that?
yeah.
They must have really liked this character. I'm going to change my whole story I had in mind
Yeah.
because they seem to like this character in the background. Like I didn't want that to influence me whatsoever. Because I just wanted to make the thing again, it is a bit selfish and like I want to do the thing that I think is the coolest,
Yeah.
even if I'm the only fan of it
Yeah. Yeah.
or whatever. Like, I just think this is awesome. I don't care if anyone else likes it. I have something I want to say, and I'm going to put it down and put it out there in the most unique way that I think makes sense. And I
I
don't care if no one understands it but me.
yeah, I think that you
You
put
kind of
it.
have to just be a bit like,
Yeah, the cool thing about following your work for so long and seeing Huxley at the end of it, like I have it back there, and I like finished it. I think the
awesome,
other
man.
weekend. I just like read it in like 2 days or 3 days or something. Just like kept, and I'm gonna give you a bit of insight into like how my mind works. Is like when I play a video game that has photo mode, I will very likely spend more time in photo mode than playing the game. Or like if there's a manga or a comic book that has really good artwork, I will spend like a much longer time. Like I must have read it in 2 days, but I spent like 7 days just looking at it. So I was just like
Sure, sure.
looking at a panel, and be like, wait, hold on, oh that's cool, and then looking at it under different lighting. I was like, it's too dark. I got to bring it to some light so I can see the light. And then at the very end, when I saw the drawings, the physical hand drawings, I saw the drawings. I'm like, wait, is that one panel? And then I would like find the exact page where it is in the book,
Yeah,
and I
yeah,
would
yeah.
like, oh, I see what he changed. Oh, I was doing that, and that's not really
Yeah, that
like,
too.
that's not like in my head. I'm like judging how I think about this stuff, right? Like I'm feeling, oh, I'm like trying to call out shortcuts, but like maybe you could see it that way, but how I see it is like if I wanted to make a graphic novel, there's so much to learn about how you're how you're executing the artwork and the panels and everything. Me as somebody who may want to do this, it makes it once I kind of am able to force back whatever curtain there is on how this was made, it becomes a lot more grounded and a lot more like realistic and achievable for me, and possibly other people if they think in the same exact way. Because when you think like movie video, I mean, you talked about this before, but even when the whole NFT thing was going off, everyone was like, "We're gonna make a video game. We're gonna make the next Fortnite." You're like, "All right, good luck with your no developers and no concept. What are you talking about?" So like, and they're like, "We have like 7 influencers and like one guy with like a sick PC. I think we're gonna be all right." Like, okay, good luck with it. And then those
Well, they don't
never.
even have that.
Yeah. We have a server farm. I know a guy who has a server farm. He used to do crypto, but now he just does server. Stuff like
I know
that.
a guy who plays video games. We got this.
My buddy's really good at
My
chemistry.
buddy plays Fortnite. We got it.
Yeah, he's really
We got
good at.
it.
I think we cracked the code. But like you saw that, and then it's like, of course it's not gonna. It's fine. But like making a movie, making a short film, like everybody who's ever gotten a camera, who's done a little bit of like VFX and After Effects is like, I'm gonna make a short film, and then you do it, and you're like, it maybe never sees the light of day because you're like, this is so hard. And same thing with like graphic novels and stories.
That is one of the things. I think it definitely takes. I'm glad I started it when I was younger and maybe more arrogant or something.
Yeah.
It's sort of like when you go and work in the film industry also, or that you go and work in the game industry, and from the outside you're like, I could do this. Like, why do they do that? This is so like I could do a better job. And then you get in there and you see the reality of how like the meat grinder is made. And you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna shut up now and get better.
But I think, dude,
but it was like that, like on The Hobbit, like right. Like
I don't.
the first week on The Hobbit or something, and I was like killing myself, like, yeah, I did so much work. Oh my god. And then you realize like, I gotta do this every day for 4 years.
You're gonna burn out
every day, and I gotta do a good job.
Mm.
I need to pace myself because I can't do this
Yeah,
or I'm
yeah.
gonna die.
Yeah.
It's like I need to find a way to balance this out where I can reliably do a good job and have a balanced life, or I'll have like a 1-year career and I will never want to draw again because I'll
Yeah.
be so stressed out and burnt out.
Yeah. Some people
That's also part of it too.
that does happen. I mean, as somebody who's tried to make a career as a concept artist, whatever, in the industry all the way on the East Coast for whatever that is worth, possibly freelancing. Like now I just have like a studio job where I can just go and make art 8 hours a day.
Right.
I'm chill. Like I don't hate it. I don't hate my life. Like I don't feel burnt out. There's like work-life balance. Like it's good. And then after work, I can hang out with friends. I can play video games, and then I can make artwork, whatever, like slot in whatever you want. So like that for me is good. And for the longest time, I would have this feeling like if I'm not in the industry, if I'm not working on the next Last of Us game, I failed. Or like if I didn't get a studio job for some game or movie right out of college, like I'm never going to make it. Like I had these like really crazy high expectations on myself, and the road always was, especially back then, there was less people talking about it, less concept artists kind of like explaining what the process is like, actually what life is like. I mean, crunch culture is still a thing. So like what is, and like, it just, there was not a lot of information out there about it. And this actually ties into something a long time ago. You made these videos of like the art and business life of like being a concept artist.
Yeah.
Dude, those videos, I went back and watched it recently. It's like 12 years old or something. They're like, at the time, that type of stuff was, and I still, and oddly enough, even now, it's like you really don't find that stuff. And there's one aspect to it is like people don't want to like talk bad on the industry or whatever that they're in, which I get. But there's another side of it, which is that just in art career trajectory in general, there's a lot of like fog, and there's a lot of people who like exploit that. We're like, oh, just download my course for $20. I'll tell you everything there is. And it's like, and people, and like artists are so passionate and emotional and desperate for like, validation and all those things that you want to get when you leave art school. You're just like, please, like hire me. I'll do anything. I'll draw, textures. I don't care, whatever it is. And there's this allure. I don't know what I'm saying. I mean, there's like this appeal of working in the industry, whatever that is, industry. And then how to get there, not exactly clear. No one is really being super transparent about it. And you were one of the only people at the time I think that was not only post even active at all on some level. Some artists, some of these concept artists still don't. I've never seen
Yeah.
Jamie Jones talk. I've never seen a video of him. I don't know what his voice sounds like. You know what I mean? There's like these like amazing people who are gods in the industry. They just have the same profile picture they've had for 30 years. But like you were one of the few that was like, here's everything you need to know. Here's all the red flags. Like, don't, if someone's like, yo, dude, this thing's
Yeah.
gonna launch, trust me, like, don't listen to them. You know, it was like this really dense video. I was like, why isn't there more
Yeah.
of this? This is
I'm glad I did
amazing.
that. I mean, a lot of it too was like I was trying to figure things out, or I had figured things out, and it was like, man, I wish someone told me this. Here's all this information. A lot of the times when I like, I remember sometimes I would try to do this like with people I knew, like, hey, this is how this works, and like sometimes people get mad at me. I was like, okay, I won't. I tried.
Interesting.
You take it or leave it, you know. So a lot of it
Like
with the video was just
advice?
like, here's the information, like peace, I'm out. Like here's what I learned. How take it or leave
I
it,
mean,
you
it's
know.
your own experience, of course. Like, nobody, you can't like,
Yeah.
I can't knock whatever you experienced. If you had like a good or bad experience, I can't tell you you were wrong about that. But that's like, I feel like that's something that's missing. That was missing then. It's missing now. It's like it still kind of exists. Like for the longest
It's always
time,
changing a little bit. I mean, there's a lot of other stuff I would probably add now.
it
I
would
was
be
gonna say something
cool.
else like, um, I think a lot of it too was like, oh, that's what I was gonna say was like, uh, everything I've done is always like a video like that is because I'm always trying to figure something out. Like I take a job because I want to learn something.
Mm,
Like I wanted to go to Wētā because District 9 like blew my mind, and I was like, man, I really would love to work on whatever Neill does next.
yeah.
My best chance is probably to go to Wētā Workshop. They're doing something totally different. If I stay in LA, I'll probably work on 900 Transformer movies or whatever,
Yeah.
and that's fine. I'd
Yeah.
probably make a lot of money, but I don't feel like I would learn something unique that I felt like they were doing down there. I felt like there was something unique happening there that I couldn't learn. The only way to learn it was to go there and do it, um, which means like if that means leaving a lot of money on the table, I don't care. I'd rather. I was always chasing like information. Like I want to go there. I want to learn everything I can.
Mm,
Once I've learned what I came there to learn, it's time to go and move on to the next thing. I guess I've always been a bit self-aware of like I'm here to learn this. Once I've learned this, it's time to do the next thing, which after that was for me traveling and see the world. Like, okay, I've been stuck in a room for 4 years or 5 years. I really need to
yeah.
like, I can't, I've maxed out what I can learn from Google. I need to see and experience things to fill up like real world visual library.
Yeah.
Um,
I've heard
and
of,
after that was like, but again, like balancing things out, like in the studio job, I wanted to challenge myself and grow. But when I was traveling, I took jobs that were maybe in my comfort zone. But on the flip side, that kind of not made me stuck, but like I definitely felt
like
like
stagnant.
I wasn't growing anymore. I was relying on what I knew, but I wasn't growing. And I was getting paid really well. So I was like in this, a little trapped in this situation in some ways where it was
Yeah.
like I knew something was holding me back, but I didn't know how to get out of it. And I think the thing that got me out of it was when I finally stopped traveling and settled back down to Seattle and got the job at 343. And I was in the room with Sparth and Martin Deschambeau and Darren Bacon and Dave Heidoff and all the like basically like a huge
What?
like at Wētā it was like this dream team. And then after a few projects, I think a few of us kind of started to leave, and it's still great, but it's like there's like a moment in time when there's just like incredibly stacked talent in one room, and it's just like it's like these opportunities don't happen very often, and when they do, like enjoy the hell out of it and know that it's not going to be there forever, but just enjoy it while it's there. Same thing for like
Yeah.
Halo. Like there's just crazy talent in one room. It's like I need to be in there. That's what's been missing, and that eventually got me back into like kind of like almost like a student mindset. Like there's so many people around me that are way better than me.
Yeah.
I have so much to learn. Like, holy crap, look at this painting Spark did like while we were talking. Like, oh
Yeah.
my God, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're just like back to being a student kind of mentality. And I think that's I've kind of stayed in that mode since then, which I really needed. And again, it's like doing certain things for the money when you need life experience. Other things like I really want to learn and I don't really care about the money as much.
Yeah.
And I think being self-aware about that, like what do you need? What do you want to learn? Or what are you not learning that's holding you back? Um, and like weighing those opportunities of just like, do I want to learn something right now? Or do I just need a gig to keep income coming? Like
Yeah.
balancing these things out is
You're you're
quite important.
you're saying a lot of things that I mean, dude, um the thing about what are you not learning that you need that's holding you back? I mean, that's one of those things that's not like easier said than done, but like how if you have like a blind spot, how are you supposed to know you have a blind spot? And like you eventually just
Yeah.
get comfortable where you are, and then at least for me, it was like redefining what like success meant or what like being a successful artist meant. Where it used to be, oh, I have to work on a video game out, in LA. But once I kind of, I don't know, I think I started consuming like or like looking for the actual content of like how to practically get to that stage. And then I started to see the things that people maybe weren't saying out loud, like, oh, like, if you're in a film union, you have a way higher chance of like working on a cool movie than like if you're not. Or like if you live in LA,
Right.
like way higher chance of like working on some cool thing than if you're living all the way out west. I mean, out east, like Boston or whatever. So it's like once I started hearing people and like Maciej Kuchara was like one of the only people that I was listening to that was like saying this stuff. Like he was another one kind of like what you did with the video was like he had art cafe and he would just say straight up like, yeah, dude, this thing
Yeah.
doing this is expensive or like it sucks or like working on this movie was cool or working on this movie sucked, whatever. Like he just kind of would say it and I really really appreciated that. And he was one of the first people that I learned like, oh, there's way more steps between having a senior thesis at your college to like working on a video game. There's way more steps there that are like not even art related anymore. They're like life steps. They're like, what's your
Yeah.
financial situation looking like right now? They're like, do you want a room with like three other dudes for like maybe 6 years in order to like work on this like gig that you want? Like there's all these other things. And then once I
Yeah.
started seeing those, I was like kind of like, okay, maybe I don't really want to be a maybe I can be a concept artist from home. What's freelancing like? That's kind of how I got into freelancing. But then I worked on games and movies, like small indie films, indie games, and that was fun. That was like, in a way, like working on a small indie game is fun because you talk to the people and they're like, dude, your art is sick. Like they don't have any other artist that on their team that's just like two developers, and they're like, we need promo art or we need concept art for a thing, and then they have their little doodles. It's like a really really small team, so you feel like you're really making an impact. And I may not be working on some AAA game, but I meet these guys at like a con or like an anime con, and they're like demoing their game. They're like, dude, we might get published. Like, that's great. We made shirts. You want one? They're like, let's take a picture. Like, I've been in that situation, and it's like so exciting and humbling and fun. And also, I'm like, damn, like, it's like I made it, but it's a different type of made it. So I'm not working on the games that I grew up playing, but I'm working on a game, and it's actually here, and you can go get it on Steam or whatever. So like, I had to kind of change my expectation of myself or like definition of like industry artist or whatever, or just successful artist. I had to kind of
But it's
as I
different.
grew, I
There's
had to
different
change that
experiences,
stuff.
right?
Yeah.
You know, like, because through all the things I've done, some of the earlier things were like, I wanted to, like again, picking jobs where you want to learn. The first thing was like, okay, I was on The Hobbit. I'm making a little impact on a big thing. Okay, I'm just doing this teeny little thing. There's like thousands of people. That's really cool, but I just don't have a huge impact on this big product. And then it was maybe like Elysium, where it was like, okay, I'm there from the start. Maybe I have a medium impact on like a medium-sized movie. Um, okay, that's really awesome. And then it's like slowly, like, can I make a big impact on a big movie? And then it's like, okay, I think like, okay, and from like start to finish, like, okay, here's a couple words on a page. Now there's a script. Now we're designing the whole world. Now they're doing VFX, and it's like, okay, now I'm sitting in the theater watching. Okay, it's like a 4-year process.
Yeah.
And it's like, I think after that a few times, it's like, I think I can do it myself. I can't do everything, but maybe a graphic novel, I could probably do it all myself. It's one of the few things where a single person can still kind of do everything, but it'll just
Totally
take me a
good.
long time. And
Yeah.
it's like that's okay.
Yeah.
But everything from there has been trying to pick things where I'm learning something I don't know. And then Halo was like kind of a little bit like I just want to be in a room with all these great people, and I've always wanted to work on Halo. Like I just need to tick that box. But all those experience, I never had that experience that you had, where it's like here's this teeny team. Maybe you're like starting. It's like 3 people, and they expand it. How does that happen? How do you make gameplay from nothing? Because it's always
Yeah.
been like, oh, here's the next Call of Duty. We made the magic happen 30 years ago, and you're just here to make this look pretty.
Mm.
Like the Halo magic gameplay
Yeah.
happened if 20 years ago,
Yeah.
but you're making this one look pretty, and it's like
Yeah.
that's great. But being at that starting phase, like what happens here? How do you do this? Like I've
Yeah.
never had that, so that's the thing I'm chasing now. Like how do
Wow.
you do that? So eventually I can do it for Huxley someday,
Oh
right?
man, that's so cool.
But that right. So you're kind of starting the reverse. Like you're getting that 0 to nothing in the game space where it's like, oh, I was there when they made the gameplay, I was there
Yeah.
thing, and
Yeah.
maybe it's going to turn into this huge thing. Like that's awesome,
Yeah.
um, because that's how Halo and that's how all these things we love got started, right? It's just
Yeah.
people that wanted to make something cool. They took a risk and made something that just didn't exist before, and it turned into that thing. Um, so it is. None of these opportunities are better or worse. It's just different.
Yeah. It is. It definitely is different, and I think like there's there's always that like these types of artists are successful. That's just always like and until somebody comes in like you just kind of how you just equated those two things are like similar but different, but I kind of want that and I kind of want like once artists kind of do that, I mean you can do that with just any other thing in life and it immediately makes what you have not feel so bad. You're like, okay, I'm doing all right. I'm not doing so bad. Like all you gotta do is like validate someone's like experience a little bit and then they feel not so bad about
Yeah.
it. And I think like even just that's a small thing. That's not even I'm not breaking industry secrets or nothing here, but I'm just telling an artist that what they're doing is good. Hey man, you're on a good path. Don't beat yourself up over it. That goes like such a long way for so many artists that I mean myself, for artists that I've
Yeah.
talked to, artists that I've seen like leave art completely behind and go into like regular jobs. And some artists like feel guilt over that, like, oh, I can't make ends meet doing freelancing. I'm just never gonna do the thing that I want to do. I'm not an artist anymore. I always just look at that as like, dude, you're still an artist like forever. Like you can stop doing art for 10, 20 years. You can always come back to it. Like it's just in there. Like it's not it's not the work and stuff, the projects you work on that define it. It's just like it's always there. Like it never goes away. It's just I don't know. But I always try to tell that to myself and tell that to artist friends of mine that are like taking a mental health break or whatever. I'm like, literally take all the time you need. We'll still be here when you're ready to, to come back and to chill and stuff. Like I don't know. That's just that's one of the things about like online now with like art communities I'm finding, and I'm personally trying to foster that type of community where it's like, hey, if you're going through some shit, like let's just we can talk. We can like I can help you with some art thing. You can experiment. It's this it's like stuff. Just it's very core, very surface level stuff that like I know that when I have like an issue in art school, I had this. Now I'm not really in art school. Now I'm just like in at home by myself, right? If I'm working on something, I'm like, I kind of want to know how to get past this obstacle right now. I'm in Blender or whatever, and then I just kind of drop it in the chat and say, "Hey, can anyone help me with this?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'll get on a voice call with you right now and help." Oh my god, like that's amazing. And then you just like talk, and it feels good. And I don't know, I don't know exactly what I'm trying to say there,
I
but
think
yeah,
I think I get it. Like no, but I think it is important to make sure you're having fun and there's something exciting, like because it will be long hours and a bit painful, and it's like back to the like first time working on a movie thing where you realize like, man, this is going to take a lot of years, and I have to do this every day for like 4 years and do a good job every day, or I'll probably get fired. Like I
wow,
need to learn how to pace myself, and I need to learn how to enjoy this every day and be excited. Like how do you do, like just like life psychological stuff. Like, how do you, if
Yeah.
this is what I really want to do, there's also other times where it's like I wanted to do something, or like I wanted to be the lead on some project, but I just wasn't ready. And coming to the realization of the reality of just like, I need to suck it up because I'm not good enough. I will eventually be good enough, but at
Mm-hmm.
this moment for this opportunity, I'm not good enough, and I need to like accept that. And this artist and that artist who seem to be hitting it off better with the director art wise
Ah,
are ready for that opportunity. And just like a lot of like personal stuff that you just have to like accept, like
yeah.
just because you want something, it's good to like be ambitious, but like the reality of just like I probably need 2 more years before I'm ready for that opportunity.
Yeah.
um
That
and there's
that
a lot of that with the graphic novel stuff too, like that, like same thing where it's just like, oh, I'm gonna make a graphic novel that looks so easy, and then you start and you're like, holy shit, man, like this is the hardest thing I've ever done. Like every day is like the hardest day of your life, and it just keeps you
wow.
so humble, because it's like, well, the next page, I have to design a new vehicle. I have to design a city that doesn't exist. I have to design 100 people walking around with different costumes that don't exist. I have to design the architecture from scratch. I have to design what this whole world looks like. I got to design some like robot that flies down and talks to them or something. And
Yeah.
it's just like all from angles that I've never driven a
Mm-hmm.
human in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, fuck.
I
And that's
like,
just one day. It's
yeah.
like,
I'm tempted. I don't want to ask you because I think it'll put you in a tough position, but I'm curious, and if you want to answer, you can. Um, was what part of when you were like just exactly what you described? Like, I don't know how to draw the back of the underside of a vehicle. What why am I doing this? Like when you're putting these difficult, like what part, if you can, if you feel like mentioning it, also we can cut it out, whatever. But like, were there parts of Huxley that you drew that you were like, I'm not confident that this is looking very good right now, but like I have to do
there was a
this.
ton of stuff. There was, but again, it's like it's almost back to that like I'm not good enough for this position on this movie or to be the lead guy. But it's like I was, especially like environments early on, I was struggling with a lot because I just like wasn't a great environment artist at the time.
Mm,
But and like one page I read it like 4 times, and
wow.
I like wasted a month. And I'm like I'm never gonna finish this if I just keep redoing a page and it's still not right. I still don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
I just got to move on. I just have to trust
Mm,
that in 6 months or whatever, I will get good enough by doing like more pages, and I trust that I'll come be good enough to figure it out that later, but I'm just not good enough right now.
okay.
So
So
there's a
just
lot of times
accept
like
it.
that where it's just like I'm wasting a month and this is not productive. I could have finished 2 more pages by now, and I just got to keep this train going. And then eventually it's like, oh, because then it starts percolating in the back of your mind. You're like, how can I make that better? And you're working on the next page
Mm-hmm.
because it's so slow,
Mm-hmm.
and you're just like, oh, I figured it out. I know how to solve that, and you find a way. But
Yeah.
if you just try to force it, it won't happen.
Interesting. So for the environments, that wasn't your strong suit at the start. You were doing characters just
At
fine,
the
but the
start, yeah,
environments, you were like,
yeah,
God damn it! What? Why didn't you like? Why
yeah,
didn't
or just
you?
bigger things, yeah.
Why didn't you like hire a friend or ask somebody to like do that for you, or just do just hey, just do this one
Because
background specifically, and then
it's
I'll
sort
just
of
take it
like
from there.
because the point of it was to learn, to grow. It's sort of like I think it's really good to equate art to like working out or something,
Mm-hmm.
like going to the gym. Once you get into like a gym, like health gym
Like a
mindset, like
routine.
it's like, hey, can you go to the gym and do like some crunches for me or some biceps? I really needed to get done. But it's like, yeah, but then I didn't do the bicep curl. My muscles, like I'm not getting healthier because I asked someone else to go get healthier.
Yeah.
And it's like you can't. I'm not learning. My goal is to be
Yeah. Yeah.
like
Yeah.
healthy and fit, and that's not going to do anything because
Mm-hmm.
someone else went to the gym or something, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I
Uh,
guess so.
so for me, it's like acquisition of knowledge through actually doing it was kind of the goal for the graphic novel, to feel like I did what a lot of my heroes did, like Atomo and
Mobius.
Mobius and all this
Yeah.
stuff. Like I want, maybe not as far as them, but like I want to feel like I ticked the same box or walked down the same road that those guys did. And um, you kind of just have to do it. You can't. There's no shortcuts. There's no cheat. You can't like you can't there's experiences in life that you cannot buy. Like no amount of money can buy sitting in a room for like 10 years, working every day with no shortcuts. Like that's a lived experience that no one
Yeah.
can take away from you. And that's what I kind of yearn for, you know, like
Yeah.
that's the like the good stuff, the juicy stuff that it's like the gold in life that no one can
Of
take away,
course.
that you can
Yeah.
only experience, you know.
I think that there's also a lot of artists, and I mean, again, I've caught myself in this trap where like I think I'm doing that, but I'm actually just like lifting a 50-pound dumbbell and I'm like ripping muscles and tendons and stuff, and I don't even realize. Like I've been caught in the I've caught myself being like reflecting like why did I do that for like a year? I was going nowhere and I was like doing it the wrong way. I wasn't looking at the proper like resources. I wasn't like educating myself the right way. I was like doing it all of this like this dumb way, and I should have just asked for help or whatever, any whatever that may look like. And I think there's this again, it's like this allure of like I'm gonna do everything myself and it's gonna come out amazing and it's gonna get made into a movie and it's gonna be toys, it's gonna be video games, and I'm gonna be, you know, whatever the next Star Wars. But there's for every one artist that does that, there's 10 artists that like do that and it doesn't, and it flops and it's actually bad and it looks
Sure.
actually bad, and they thought they had something, and it's like what do you think the difference is between those two? Is it like industry experience? Is it like community? Is it network? Like
I think it also goes back, I mean, it kind of goes back to some of those things I said where like I wanted something, but I wasn't ready, right? Like to me, I probably could have made Huxley at the start of my career. I probably could have drawn a graphic novel. I probably could have illustrated it and done all this stuff. But I I hate doing something unless I know how it's done. So like
mm,
to me, I want to like it's like I want to go through the tutorial before I try it
mm-hmm,
myself. So
mm-hmm.
for me, that tutorial would be I want to work on a movie from start to finish and understand how you go from a couple sentences on a page, turn that into a script, create the entire world from scratch, design every keyframe from the story moments, how you hire actors, how that changes, how you shoot it, and how some things change, and how you turn that into a complete product. For me, that was Elysium, was the first like start to
Really?
finish,
Mm.
and I kind of did that a few times. But to me, I wanted to understand every step of the process before I attempted to do it for myself. And it also helped to see like even like The Hobbit or something where it was like so much bigger and okay, is an old book that was written a long time ago that I loved. How did they adapt that, interpret that, and maybe expand it into 3 movies instead of one or two?
Mm.
Like, why did they do that? How do you do that? Like, where did they expand it? Where did they shrink things? Like, that's all fascinating stuff to me. And so these are like my tutorials. I want to
Yeah.
understand it. And again, you can't buy that. You have to live through that. I want to
Yeah.
do that with some of the best people in the world. And to me, that calmed that part of my mind was like, okay, I think I have an okay understanding of how to do this pretty well.
Yep.
I saw what they did right. I saw what they did maybe I saw what they
Different.
did that ended up being really successful. I saw things maybe that weren't as successful. Like I'll try to do it better myself. I'll do the
Okay.
best I can. I still won't do it right. And next time I'll try to do better and so on and so on. And that's
Yeah,
how
yeah.
we improve.
So it
But I think a lot of it might be that, right? Like
yep, it makes
you
sense.
you try to do something, but you just don't have as much foundation or been through the process as many times. And so it's like your first attempt that you thought was going to be amazing is like it's not as I don't want to say refined, but it's not like it's like if you ran a race 10 times, when you ran the race 11 times, you're going to be pretty damn good at it,
Yeah.
right? But if you were like I'm going to run a race and you just run it the first time, you've never been on the obstacle course and you like trip and fall and you don't know what the you don't know the path of the map that you're running,
Mm-hmm.
that would be like your first attempt,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
So you'll probably make a lot of mistakes. You'll probably do a lot of things not so great, and it just won't
Yeah.
hit. Yeah,
I understand what you're saying. It's kind you're saying like before you do the thing that you want to do, try to be a part of it in some other way where it's like less risky and you
Yeah,
can kind of get the ins like. And I like your analogy about the racetrack, but I went to video games, which is like speed running. If you want to speed run a video game, there's a lot of speed running
yeah.
techniques like clipping through things and like breaking out of bounds. But if you don't understand how that works, if you and then you fire up your first time playing like Doom or whatever, like
Or
I'm
you
gonna
don't
speed
understand the
run.
rules of the game either,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like
So
you
you're
have to
like,
understand the rules of the game, and it all applies, right? It's like uh, even if you're like making something in a certain genre, like there's like who are the like I'm just really thorough about everything. Like who are the best? What are the top things in that genre? Why are they the top things? Like what did they do? How did they
mm-hmm.
do it? What do I like? What would I do? How would I do that? And so it's just a lot of it's like almost like resource collection.
Yeah,
Like what are the cool things? What kind of things do I like? What don't I like? What are all the cool movies coming out? And you have to be like almost like constantly absorbing
mm-hmm.
what has existed, what is out there, what new people are doing, what's kind of happening, what are the directions that all franchises are taking,
Yeah,
what do you like, what don't you like, and it's like what do I want to do, like, and what aren't they doing that I think would be cool, and just they're too big now and too set in their ways to ever do that. And it's like that's an opportunity for me
yeah,
where I see there's an audience that likes this. These companies are going in these directions. I want to go in this direction, and no one else is going to do that, or they can't do it. And that's the new thing I have to offer, or you have to offer. Like,
yeah.
and again, it's kind of I feel like that's kind of our long-term duty, hopefully, to try to do something like that if we can, or
Yeah,
at least go for it.
it's cool. It's cool hearing you. I've heard you talk about like the duty part of like making Huxley of like leaving a legacy behind or something. And I feel like there's something very interesting there. You could black there's a wormhole of like where that comes from because some people are like I don't care. I just want to make cool video game artwork and I'm set. I don't need to make a legacy or I don't want to like leave anything behind. Um,
You totally don't have to do
yeah,
that.
yeah,
Like it's
but I
like
think it's
that's
interesting
just
that you
me.
feel
Like
that way. It makes me curious, like where that comes from within you, like you know what I mean? I don't know. I don't even know if it's like
I don't
a
know.
question worth a
Yeah,
question asking, but I'm sure it's just something you feel. I can
I don't
tell
know
that
if
you're
it's like
passionate about it.
there might be something from child. I don't know, like a chip on my shoulder, some chip on my shoulder.
Or maybe you
I don't
saw
know.
other maybe
Like it
maybe
just feels like
maybe you because you've been part of these projects like Hobbit, like Neill Blomkamp, like these people have made huge impacts on the industry one way or another. And maybe I don't know. I'm again, I'm not trying to like armchair psychology, but like I could see being like on Elysium as a concept artist and seeing it go, and you're like, wow, like this is cool. Like one of my own like this, and whatever that may be.
I don't know. I think it's like yeah, I don't know. I mean, Neil working with Neil definitely inspired me because like he's one of the rare like how many directors can you say that made three original science fiction movies as their first three like big science fiction movie? Like no one, man. Like I don't even think
Yeah,
Ridley Scott didn't do that. Like he did one and then he did some like dramas and like kind of bounced around a bit. Like three original science fictions like back to back. Like wow.
and he was gonna
Like
do Halo, which is
that's
crazy.
amazing.
He was gonna start with Halo.
But Halo didn't happen,
I
and that's what how
know.
District 9. So I feel like we got something even more special that led him
Yeah.
down a really unique path, which is really cool.
District 9 is probably like one of I've watched that movie maybe like 12 times or something and I watched it and it would just always impact me like on an emotional level, never like on an art level. Like I even remember seeing teasers of like the interrogation with like the aliens and stuff, those cryptic videos they made. I thought that was so cool, like the way they introduced the world, and then that was one of those movies where it was like the world you're getting a sneak peek into a world, into an entire like timeline that I want more, I want to know, and they kind of give you that with like the main character and his ending and stuff, but it's just so like yeah, I feel like I could watch endless amount of documentaries about how that movie was made because I'm so curious about like even the tech. Like I've never like at the time the realism of like the prawns and stuff like
Yeah.
and I've watched people explain like why it looks so real, like the budget behind it, the reasoning, and still I'm just like I don't know, like it feels like some like lightning in a bottle type thing, and I know that there's like a cult following around it, and it's yeah. I don't know. It's one of those movies that similar. Blade Runner was kind of the same thing. So instrumental for me, like the original Blade Runner. And then even when Denis Villeneuve like made the second, that one was somehow still just as good. Like, and also re-inspired like me as like an adult now. And I'm just like, oh my god! Like you've seen, I know you've probably seen like a million things on Instagram, Cyberpunk Cities, a million of them. But when it's done right, or when it's done by somebody who understands, like what makes a cyberpunk city, like the noir stuff, the rain, like the atmosphere, then you're just like, this is a cyberpunk city. Like all that stuff that's just slop. This is a real, like this is sci-fi. Like this is the real thing. And that's definitely internally when I think about making artwork or my own story, I always put myself up against these like the best versions of things, and I'm just like, what's the point? It's never gonna be as good as that. Like, let me just let them do the thing and let them, they'll always knock it out of the park. Secret Level. There's all these amazing animations that are coming out now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Love, Death, and Robots. There's all these.
Yeah.
There's so many more high quality stories that and visuals that are being told so much more frequently now that it's almost like, where do I even fit in? Where does my thing fit in with all of that? Like, someone's could somebody just do what I'm already doing sooner and better and come out with it before I come out with it? And then maybe they're just, hey, they deserve it. Like maybe I should just lay here and rot and just like
But
watch these amazing
but I feel
things.
like that's what makes each of us unique. Like we're all gonna do it differently. But I think back to your earlier question of just like why even do this or what makes you want it. I think it I think a lot of it is because of thinking back about growing up, like watching, yeah, like watching the early Ridley Scott movies, James Cameron movies, like watching animations from Miyazaki,
Yeah.
like Akira, and all this stuff. Like people working their whole life to achieve, like to be at the top of their like game or industry or whatever,
Hmm.
like pushing an art form to its absolute peak and creating something that lasts forever, that we can go like in 50 years we can go watch Akira and still go damn, like
Hmm.
even now, like you know I,
Yep. Yep.
we can look at these paintings and like these paintings and the background
Timeless.
paintings, they are good forever.
Yeah. Timeless.
Forever these will be an achievement and a goal to aspire to
Yeah.
for something that was made, like because someone was at the top of their game and created something that is just timelessly historically excellent.
Yeah.
And I feel like that inspired me so much, sometimes from an art standpoint and other times from a story standpoint. Like Miyazaki's movies have touched me deeply and will touch and resonate with people for all time,
Hmm.
and have taught people lessons and taught people things about themselves,
Oh
taught
my
me things
God.
about myself, how
Yeah.
to think about things. And these things transcend time, and you know not to get morbid, but we only have a certain amount of time.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
What is our purpose here? What are we doing here?
Yeah.
Why get up every day? And I feel like that's one of the most noble things to me that I could ever do with my life, is creating something that hopefully someday has so much value, meaning, or achievement, or if I push this so far that it's at the height of something in this one industry or another, that people go, damn, like those guys did a good job, and maybe the story or whatever was so like I have learned a lot of things in my life. And I remember this graphic novel artist, Kazu Kobayashi, when I was in the middle of my book, he's like, it's good. He was like, I was like asking him for advice, and he said, I like to think about things sort of like, what do you want to teach your younger self,
Mm.
and make that.
Mm.
And I think that's really cool. I think that's also part of like why Miyazaki stories resonate with a lot of people. Like he's a bit older
Yeah.
and he's lived a lot and experienced a lot, and you can tell like the things he puts in his movies, uh, the types of relationships and the types of things that happen. He is passing on his wisdom through a film that everyone can enjoy and watch. And on some level, kids can watch some very beautiful looking
Yeah.
art. But as an adult, you go like, wow, that
Yeah.
really like got me. Like I'm even getting choked up thinking about some of his movies, right?
Dude, I've never
Um,
I've never cried
so if
harder
we,
uh, than
but if
watching. Yeah.
like if I can do something like that by the time I have, like, by the end of the time I have on this earth or whatever, like, then I will feel I've done something of value as an artist in our industry, and hopefully something that can transcend
Yeah.
the time I had here. Like,
Yeah.
that would be the ultimate achievement to me.
I yeah, man. I mean, I've never cried harder than when I watched Grave of the Fireflies, for example. That movie, I don't think I've ever watched that movie more than once because I'm just like I'm not ready to go there again. It's just too much. But like, yeah, you're right. I mean, I think again, I think back to like what it makes me wonder. There's this some artists are so like passionate. Art is an extension of us. It's like our thoughts on paper. Like some artists, I know I've had this where I can't really explain how I feel. Let me just draw it, or let me paint it, or whatever.
Right.
This is what I'm imagining. You know what I mean? Like, and I storyboard some shit like really quickly. Like, like this. Can you do this? Like when you art direct or something, like you do that. You just like let me just draw it. This kind of, can you do that? And then they speak your language. Then they get it. And I feel like with art, especially artists that put artwork out there in some form, there's always this like, hey, this is a bit of me, this is my life, this is my experience. What do you think? Like, is it good enough? Like, is it worth anything? And there's definitely like an internal like security you can have where you're just like, whatever I put out, I don't care what people think. But I think even within that, there's still going to be a little bit of like, I kind of hope people like this. I kind of hope this hits for somebody, or this communicates. Even after I'm gone, when I'm not here to clear the context of what this is, you have to, take something from it. And I hope like it's a good thing. It's not like a negative thing. Yeah, it's definitely interesting. Like I think with every small art piece you put out, there's a bit of that energy, and with every bigger pieces you spend years and years developing, you're like, this is me over the course of 10 years. These are like my interests, my inspirations, the things I've. If you wrote the story, these are the story elements that like I've experienced on some way or another.
Yeah.
Here it is presented, and like, it's almost like you can't even ask for people to say whether it's good or not. You just kind of want them to accept it, and then by proxy they kind of accept you. And yeah, I feel like there's a lot of like emotional ties to when we put out projects of our work. We're like, hey, this is me. Please do not shit on it, because that will hurt. But
It's interesting though. It's like I was gonna say part of it is like another part of the reason, I don't know if it was in like art to me is like understanding the world on a base level. Like, oh, I gotta learn anatomy, I gotta do this, and you are literally understanding the biology
yeah,
and the architecture of a human being, how these muscles attach. Like, why can't I? It's like, it's not, oh, I want to draw some superhero. It's like, okay, what is a human being? How, if I want him to be in this pose, there's a skeleton, there's muscles on that skeleton, they're clenching. Like, there's so much you need to understand about life and the world, and that is beyond fascinating to me. And that kind of like, I was always kind of curious about the world, but I think art just like kind of like exploded that even more, where it's just like, oh my God, like I can do this forever because there's always something more to learn. And that's another way to think about it, is like, this is something you will do forever, and it's never going to be done. I remember when I was younger, I was such a completionist, like, oh, I'm going to go to school and I'm going to learn everything there is to learn about art, and then I'm done. And then it's it. I'm done. And then I'll get a job in the industry, and that's it.
yeah,
I achieved my goal, and I can
yeah,
like stop. And then it's just like, oh my God, that's like just the beginning. And then I
yeah,
got to do this for 4. And then it's like, I think, part of, I don't know if it's going from a student to professional, or like just maybe becoming adult, is realizing like, I remember there's a switch of like, where I was stressed out when I was younger, like, oh my God, this is never going to end. And then when I was older, I was like, this is so awesome, it's never going to end. Like,
yes,
this kind of switch, like
yes,
this thing that stressed me out was like the reason why it was so great. Like, I'll have something to do my whole life. Isn't that amazing?
yeah,
Like, I'll never be done with this. Like, it will never end.
yeah,
And when you're younger, you're like, oh my God, like I can never finish this. Like it's
Yeah.
never gonna be finished. And it's like this acceptance of this impossible, or not an impossible thing, but just like the acceptance of something that can't be completed or not in the way you originally thought.
Yeah.
Uh,
I mean that that
is
that sounds kind of
pretty cool.
for you, hearing you talk about how much you like absorbing and learning and like kind of climbing a bit of a ladder or steps. It sounds when you say that to me, I'm like, "Oh no, Ben, are you going to be okay?" Because you're never going to be able to learn everything. You're never going to be able to like get all the skills that you want to get, and like, are you okay with that?
It's just more pacing yourself, I guess. Like I mean, every project's different. Like like right now, I'm working on some stuff that I can't talk about, but uh, like I am learning. Like here's that chunk of the beginning of game development that I never got to experience. I want to experience that because I just never have done that. And
Yeah.
then I of course probably go overdo it and work too much, but that's just how I am. Um, but I want to like learn super deeply everything,
Mm-hmm.
and then move on to the next thing and the next thing to eventually like understand all of these things so that I could do it for myself. And to me, that's just how I need to be. I need to go through that process to be confident to do it for myself. But
Yeah.
some people could just,
No,
I'm going to make a game tomorrow and I am be the
yeah.
CEO. It's like, I probably could, but I wouldn't have the confidence until I went through it.
No, I
Um,
think what you're saying is like extremely mature and is what probably a lot of artists need to hear. Like artists that have this crazy overnight ideas to make a game. I'm gonna make a game by myself because I saw somebody on YouTube say it's possible, and it's like, okay, like
but you
actually,
can. Some people do.
yeah, okay, like
Some people
actually,
do, and they're
and
very,
you just yeah, whatever your definition of a game is, it could be one level, it could be a demo, it could be anything, it could be Flappy Bird. Like you could technically do that, but also what you're saying is like do the thing, even if you don't like either do it through somebody else, if you have connections or if you have the advantage of seeing it get made from beginning to end, do that, and then like I think the advice that I'm getting is like, hey, if you want to make a graphic novel, try to at least talk to or witness or see how graphic novels are made, or at least be a part of that process in some way. Then you can at least learn it a little bit because I know that I've definitely gotten a lot more confident once I did the thing that I was so curious about. Then I was hired either as an artist for as a concept, like worked as a concept artist on a video game, and then I'm like, oh my god, video games take forever, and oh my god, they need so much fucking concept art, and oh my god, like why did they ask me to draw this and then change their mind later? I think this looks fine, you know what I mean? Like all of these kinds of things, or even I get put in the position where I got to tell an artist, hey, redraw that this way. And then the artist is like, I think this looks fine. And you're like, no, but the script calls for this specific thing. So please draw it like that. And they're like, no. And you're like, fuck, okay, I don't care. You know what I mean? Like there's like these kinds of dynamics. And once I was in that process of like, man, games take a long time. And then I finally saw the demo of the game come out. I'm just like, oh my God, there's like making art for a game is maybe 10%. Everything after that is like heads down, crunch,
yeah.
work, and everyone thinks the game is canceled or something while we're literally like working on it actively full time and trying to get it done. And then they put it out and people shit on it and they're like this runs bad. Like nothing's wrong with the art, but it
Right.
runs bad. And you're like, God damn it. Now it's like everyone's focusing on the texture that's not loading, but
It
not
never
about
ends. It
the
never ends.
amazing, yeah. So, but I'm glad I went through that process because now I'm like, if I want to make a game, I can at least know what people are expecting, or at least
Yeah.
know like what I'm getting myself into. I probably will need to ask for help. I probably will need to like save up some money in order to like, do all these things. But yeah, I mean, I think that definitely there's definitely you should definitely try to go through a version of it, like do a demo, a
Yeah.
tutorial version of this thing, a first level version of this thing before you actually like do the thing for yourself. It helps tremendously and it helps you like avoid a lot of
There's like,
missteps.
is there that like, isn't it like the chart of like confidence to knowledge or something? Is like
Yeah.
no knowledge, extreme confidence, and then it just,
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
you
yeah.
slowly get more confident once you actually
Yes.
understand it. But it's like, yeah, like no knowledge, you're just like 1,000% confidence. And then when you start actually understanding what you need to do, it's just, Like I
Exactly.
don't know what I'm doing, and then you
Hmm.
gotta slowly work your way up. I feel like I do that a lot, where it's just like I really want to do this. Oh my god, this is hard, but I really want to understand it, so it's okay.
Yeah.
Like over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Um, but it's also like going through that experience. Also, like that's how you know when people don't know what they're talking about when they start saying like, "Oh, I'm going to do this," or like in a job interview for like, "Oh,
Yes.
these guys are going to make a new game," and you hear them talking, you're like, "I don't think they know what they're going to talk about.
I
That's
love
going to be a
that.
rough development. I
Yep.
think I'm okay."
Yeah.
Um, I think you great meeting you, but good luck. You
Yeah, yeah,
know.
yeah. I,
um,
I, I love kind of seeing that sometimes, and I'm just like, it might work out, but I don't think so. But it's okay. Like, go for it. Anyway, just go for it. Just go for it. Just so you have that experience, even if it crashes and burns. At least you have the experience. At least you know what you have some kind of experience. And then now, when you do it again, if you want to, you can do it the right way, or you can have other people do it. Um, this is
but it
also,
is kind of like the
yeah,
graphic novel stuff too, though. It's just like I mean, it's almost like the old like I don't know if it was Thomas Edison or something. It was like 1% inspiration, 99% perspiration. Like it really is that. It's like I got an idea, and then you just shut up and like don't talk for 10 years, and like it's done.
yeah, 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 yeah,
Like
yeah.
it kind of takes, especially for a game, it's even harder, right? Like
Oh
I
yeah.
got a cool idea for my game, and then it's just like, oh my god, this is so much work,
Yep.
and you just suffer in silence for 5 year plus years figuring it out, and you're like, we figured it out. Here you go. Like here it is.
Yes. Here.
Um,
Yeah.
it's so much work. I mean, especially the graphic novel stuff where it was like you open up a character, you're like, wow, this is cool art. I can do this. And then you start making it, and after like a couple pages, you pick up a cure and you're just like, this is
That's insane.
this one book
It's
is
insane.
probably 3 years of a human life.
Yeah.
Like, oh my, and then you really respect it even more. You're like,
Yeah.
okay, this is like this was probably like a month of one person's life, just this one page. You're like, oh my god.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
you look at what you're doing, you're like, I've got 4 more years left.
Yeah.
If I do this myself, you're like, okay, 4 years, I can do it.
I
Like,
think
yeah,
but I like personal work in that way. I think personal work, especially your own IP, your own idea, like it's kind of like no one is waiting for me to finish this. I'm the only person that's waiting for me to finish this. And as long as I don't tell anyone or like put it out prematurely or anything like that, then I can just work on this. I can learn the things I need to learn along the way. I can take breaks. I can work on like professional work, like freelance gigs, whatever, and then I can come back to it. Um, that's definitely the pleasure of having a personal project or an ongoing personal work is that you can just kind of work on it and you don't have the pressure. It's all of the slow kind of fun, but there's no pressure, there's no deadline. You just kind of set your own I mean, that could be a good thing, that can obviously be a bad thing, but yeah. When did you finish Huxley? I know that you've been working on it for a while, but when did you
it was a
actually
few years
finish
ago.
it?
I think it was maybe officially done, maybe like 2021 ish.
Okay.
And then, but like even then, like even when it's done, it still took till now to finally be in bookstores and stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
like so even when it's done, there's another mountain to climb. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, I could just go to like Dark Horse or someone else, or maybe I try to find someone else that's a better fit, or oh, they want all the rights. I can't do that. I finish it all myself. I just need someone to publish it. Because a lot of
Mm-hmm.
times a lot of the bigger publishers will want a submission so that they're part of co-owners and part of the process. It's like, well, it's done. I just
Mm-hmm.
need someone to publish this and
Mm-hmm.
distribute it. And then there's all these different levels of, okay, we can do that, but we do it this way, and this one does it that way, and just takes time to find the right fit. And yeah,
Did you? I feel like I kind of know the answer to it, but like, did having worked in the industry for the time that you did, I mean, ever since Weta, like this was like since college, I guess, all the way to now, did that really provide a lot of like advantage to getting it through some of these more like bureaucratic, like logistical stages? Once the artwork was done, and you're like, all right, art's done. How the hell do I make this into a real book? Publishers like Dark Horse, contact.darkhorse. You know what I mean? You're not just emailing just their general public
yeah.
email. You're probably
Well, sometimes I
reaching out
was.
to a guy.
Sometimes I was. I would try to meet them at Comic Cons. I tried to talk to like I think I talked to like Mike Mignola at Comic Cons when I was like halfway done. I was like, hey, I'm working on something. And I'm sure he hears that a million
Yeah.
times, like, oh, I'm working on a graphic novel.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, I'm sure everyone says that, but like, I remember asking him, like, hey, would you recommend this publisher or that publisher? I was like, oh, I probably wouldn't. You know, when I did it, it was like the start and I got a great deal, but now it's different world and blah, blah, blah.
Mm.
And probably some general comment he gives to everyone. But
Mm.
that kind of got me thinking about stuff too. And the publisher I went with, this is their first graphic novel, which I think I always like to take, not always like to take risks, but I try to find situations like that where, like, okay, if I went with a traditional company that only does graphic novels, I'd be graphic novel 9,000 and they just kind of throw it out there like, yeah, here's another one.
Mm.
But if you go to a publisher that really wants to break into that market and they really like it and believe in it, I feel like that's a much better fit than they want it to be a success because they want to break into the industry and do a good job. And they've previously done other books that have been very successful, but just in different industries. And I think
Mm.
things like that, like I always look for stuff like that. That might not be the smartest thing,
I
but I feel like it's worked out fairly well for
yeah,
me because I try to find situations like that.
I feel like for you, again, knowing your work, and you have worked on some of the biggest titles, right? So you have some weight behind your name. If Ben Mauro is working on a graphic novel, oh, I've seen this guy's. If somebody even knows your work or has played the properties or watched the movies you worked on, immediately, if I'm just some publisher that I've never published anything in my life, I would want to publish your first book because I'm like, oh, it's gonna help our brand grow and all that kind of stuff. So there's like a kind of, but if it's just some guy, if it's just you know
True,
somebody
true.
nobody knows who has a graphic novel and they want to go with this publisher and they don't want to get screwed, probably not as not as easy to navigate that environment.
But yeah, I mean, it's also just like, yeah, it's like it was the right moment for me or the right thing for me. There's going to be a publisher where it's the right situation for them. Uh, they want to do this. You want to. It's like I feel like there's been a lot of opportunities like that in my life where it's like I'm getting better at understanding that moment and just going for it, and also understanding when like this doesn't feel right. I shouldn't do this. But you kind of get a sense of like I really want to do it this way. There's got to be someone that is in like the exact same situation on the other side. Like I got to try to find them and just
Mm-hmm.
doing your best to like find those companies or teams that are in the same kind of reverse situation. Like, man, we really want to make a graphic novel, but it's got to stand out and be totally unique. Like who's making something or who made something that's just like doesn't come along often. Like, oh my God, this guy spent 10 years on this thing. He's his resume ticks all the boxes for us. Like this is a product we can sell. Like it's
Mm-hmm.
just
Mm-hmm.
finding
Yeah.
those things.
I mean, I definitely think that as far as how much you've developed Huxley and the world and the universe, and you've talked about this before, like if you were gonna pitch this as a movie, it's all there. Like they don't have to ask any
Yeah,
questions. So you're like, this is
yeah,
on a platter. It's ready. We have characters. We have backstories. We have like concept art. We have everything. You don't even you can just immediately take this to a production studio and they can start making it like today.
yeah.
And that's
Models are
like
there and
they want
stuff,
to hear
and that's
that.
part of the risk though too. Yeah, and it's also like the kind of back to like the risk and like how you want to live your life and all that kind of stuff. Like when I talked about it in the documentary, but like when I got the Halo job, I could have totally like calmed my life down and relaxed and took it easy for a bit. And I decided to continue living very small and modestly and not like scale up my life. Like, oh, now my life is way more expensive because I'm getting paid more,
Mm,
but my quality of life is about the same, and I don't have any extra funds to maybe say make a trailer for Huxley. Like, no, let's just stay. I mean, that's just like making a conversation with your significant other and your wife or whatever.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
hey, I really want to do this. Are you okay?
yep,
Not changing our life for another year.
yeah.
I really think this is going to be cool. And like selling her on it kind of
Mm-hmm.
thing. And there's things like that. I remember hearing a quote recently where someone was like, if you're not willing to, I forget how they worded it, but like if you're not willing to spend a year like with nothing to live very modestly to achieve a goal that could change your life forever, you care too much about what other people think. Something along these lines. And I think
Interesting.
that's very true, right? Like I basically bought the cheapest, shittiest car I could find that cost like nothing. I tried to live it as modestly. We were in some teeny little apartment, the two of us working next to each other, like whatever was like the cheapest, lowest cost thing, so all my funds could go to things that would hopefully become something great.
Yeah.
And to me that was worth it. That could have been a total disaster
Yeah.
and wasted my time and wasted a year of my life, wasted a year of my salary.
Yeah.
But to me, that was like, that's a risk I'm willing to take. And I don't care if when my friends visit out of town, I'm driving the shittiest like Toyota thing, whatever. I really don't care. I
No.
really do
Yeah.
not care at all, because every day is like the most exciting day of my life creatively. And that's like, every day I'm closer to achieving my dream. And I don't care if someone like thinks the clothes I'm wearing
Yeah.
are stupid, or like, I
Yeah,
just don't
yeah,
care.
yeah, 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 yeah. No, I think
Um,
I think it's more than that though. It's not. It's more than the clothes you're wearing. It's like the life, the comfort of your life. Like if your wife was like, no, I
yeah.
don't want to sacrifice a year of our life. I want to whatever move into a bigger place, whatever,
I want to be in
anything.
a nice house. I
If
want
she if
to
and
do
all that
this,
stuff
or
would
yeah.
be reasonable to ask for, and especially if you're in
Yeah.
a relationship. But I think that some like, and if that was to happen, then you'd have to pivot, do some others, have some other type of strategy on like how you're going to get this done. um yeah, I think that having a partner definitely makes having an art career, that's like almost a secret ingredient, like somebody who's like holding it down with you when the jobs aren't coming in. They have a second job, they have a job, they have their 9 to 5, they're helping make ends meet, pay rent, all that kind of stuff. When if you want to take a big risk, like financial risk, and say, hey, I'm gonna not work for a year just so I can do this like passion project, and then they're like, okay, I love you, I fucking hope this works, and you're like, I hope it does too, and there's that mental pressure of like, God, I hope this works, and it's like having somebody who's there. If you don't, if you're solo, maybe there's a chance you can't do that. Maybe you're just not financially ready. Maybe there's not not emotionally stable enough. Whatever. You don't feel supported enough to do that. But having, I think, a partner. I mean, I've talked to a lot of when I was in college. My girlfriend at the time, now my wife. I would go around to all these. I was trying to freelance at the time, like right after college. I was trying to freelance, and I was making like no money. I was like grinding. I was doing everything I could. I was working on the biggest projects I could find, and I was still at the end of the day not really making enough money to. If I was living alone, this would be poverty level. So, but with her, it made it a lot more. We could have a place. We could have cats. We could have food. We could, there was a budget, but still we could, it was comfortable. We could have time to hang out with friends and things like that. And I remember at the time, one thinking that I had failed as like a freelance artist because I wasn't making my own living off of this thing. And then I would talk to other artists, be like, hey, for real, how are you able to be at this con right now selling your paintings? And how's your rent being paid? And then they're usually sitting next to their partner, like, because of them, they have a job, and like that allows me to do shit like this. I'm just like, okay, whew. I thought I was the only one, but it was like such a breath of fresh air to hear so many artists and the reason that they were able to like take a big financial risk or like a career risk or switch to another job, move to a different place, move to New Zealand. Like nobody can just do that, you know what I mean? Or like especially with a partner, especially with like animals or children or whatever. Like most people can't do that, but for some people that could be a breakup. You know what I mean? Like I'm not uprooting my whole life and going to another country. Are you serious? So like
Yeah.
I feel like that is kind of a quiet part of a lot of artists' success is like their partner being super chill with them, like doing all this crazy shit, and they're like, I will try to find a new job. I just will have to, and like we will figure that out together. I feel like that is such a
Was the the game Stardew Valley? That was the same
yeah,
situation for the Stardew Valley developer. Like
really.
he worked on it for like 8 years, and he didn't make any money for 8 years. And his wife was just like, "Yeah, I believe in you. Like I think this
Wow.
is gonna be cool."
Yeah.
And then it went out, and then it sold like 8 million copies or
Mm-hmm,
whatever
mm-hmm,
crazy amount it
mm-hmm,
sold,
mm-hmm.
and they're good.
It's cool. It's
But
always
it's like she
yeah.
saw that it was like, "Oh, this is really amazing. Like I believe in this. Like let's keep going.
It's
Like it's
cool.
okay."
Yeah, and for some people that's their parents, like wherever they are in life. For some people it's their parents. For some people it's their partner, their whatever family or whoever. But I feel like just more artists need to say like, yeah, I can only do this because my wife has a real job and like that helps make, pays the bills, and then I can make it look like I'm doing all of this on my own and I'm traveling to like Bali or whatever. But really we have a 401k together and we have savings and we're being very responsible with our money and all this kind of stuff. I think there's just like this like allure and like rose into glasses of like being an artist, like traveling the world, like with your Wacom tablet on your back and you're like up in the Smoky Mountains, like, it's like, how are you making money doing that? Like, you know what I mean? Like most things like that are not really as open. It's like, oh yeah, like I have savings, or like I locked myself away for 5 years, worked really hard, saved up a bunch of money, and then I was able to fund like my passion project, my graphic novel, or whatever. So you say there's like a year where you were just like, this is Huxley time. I'm locking in, putting all of my energy and money towards this. Was that developing the graphic novel, or was that for the short films and all of the like ancillary stuff?
That was for the trailer. I was probably halfway done with the graphic novel, and so I mean, it was years. It was already years of like me dedicating a lot of my free time into that. But that was more like, we can't. This is going to take up a lot of my time, and I'm not going to be like, we're not going to be able to do as much like, I don't know, like fun
Mm-hmm.
traveling or stuff like
Mm.
like the work. These are the work years kind of thing, and that was okay. But by that point, we were maybe like halfway done with the graphic novel, and it was like, okay, I'm getting a sense I'll be done with the graphic novel in the next year and a half or something. We should probably try to get this done. It'll probably take a year to make this. I need to think ahead.
Yeah.
But it also helped with the book because it's like, oh my god, like we get to model and detail out this character that
Yeah.
I just didn't have time to draw that detail. So we like have all the stuff in advance where it's like, oh, I need to do this like crazy action shot. I can kind of pose them now because I have like a very
Yeah.
detailed
Yeah.
3D model or something.
I
And
noticed that in the books, like in the very beginning, and I don't know what order you made the book in, but it was for me fun to speculate how you did it, like what you probably did.
chronological, yeah,
Yeah, because like in the beginning, it's like loose, it's like drawing, it looks like photo bashy. There's like, and like again, knowing your art style, knowing how you work, I'm like, this makes sense. Like
a bit of
this is a
everything, yeah.
concept artist guy doing, yeah, there's like photo, there's a bit of 3D, there's some like warping, like there's concept art techniques like through and through, and I
Yeah,
love
yeah, yeah.
noticing that because it's not hand drawn, it's not like painstaking like technical drawing. It's like this is a guy who's like really comfortable in his style just doing it, and it was really fun to like that's the same thing in that last panel in this.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Interesting,
yeah.
okay. So I love that, I love noticing that stuff, and to me, I felt like I was getting to know the process, and again, it just felt more achievable in a way, like watching the shortcuts that you were taking. And I mean, I love that with behind the scenes on movies. Like, actually, this prop is like just spray painted styrofoam. Like, nobody knew that. Like, I love those kinds of things. So,
Or
like,
it's like if you watch old Disney movies, and they're like, "Oh yeah, you know this scene where Beauty and the Beast or Jungle Book they're
mm-hmm,
dancing? Oh
mm-hmm,
yeah, this we
just
just took it from
traced.
the old movie, this other movie,
Yeah,
and we just traced it out. It's the same thing. We use that like 20 times,
I
and you're like,
love that.
oh,
I
okay,
I love that because it's also for like an aspiring artist or aspiring graphic novelist. It's so crucial to learn that because like, oh, I'm allowed to take shortcuts. I'm allowed to work within my comfort zone. I'm allowed to do it the way I want to do it. I don't have to do it the very specific industry standard way, quote unquote. I can do it my own way, and I can take the shortcuts that I take, and it's okay if you can even see those shortcuts because whatever, because it keeps going. There's more to it. There's more here beyond the photo bash thing that I did here. But that was one thing that was fun for me. And I was like, I want to ask Ben about this. I want to ask how many times he reused that big Huxley drawing. How many? Because I feel like I've spotted it multiple times throughout the
there's a
panel.
few, yeah.
I'm like, that's
Well,
just
a lot of it was
flipped.
like,
It
yeah,
was
yeah, yeah.
so fun to
Like
watch to catch
it's
that.
a lot of it's because like, do I need to redraw the same thing over and over
Exactly.
again? It's like
Oh
probably
yeah.
not.
Yep. Yep.
And then it's like, what was the other thing? It was like, or I didn't want him to change too much because it was such a I hadn't because I hadn't 3D modeled it, so I was
Yeah.
like, uh, until we did the 3D model when we finally kind of did, it was like he kind of changed a little too much, and
Mm-hmm.
again, I didn't want to redo a page like for a
Yeah,
month
dude.
again. I
Yes.
wasn't happy with it, and I was just like, okay, just gotta move on. I gotta move
Dude,
on.
I love that.
This train's got to keep going.
You're being honest about it. You're being so honest, and I love that. I just love that the raw, like, hey, I don't want to. I drew it once. It was good. Who? No one's asking me to redraw it again, except for me. So I'm gonna say fuck that, and I'm gonna just copy it, and I'm gonna like. I'm still gonna tweak it. It's the panel still works, and it still gets the story across, and nothing is lost. Like it doesn't take you out of it. But for me, as it didn't take me out of it. But then when I would go back and look at it again, because it was just like a secondary thing that my brain was doing. It's like as I was reading it, like this is sick. Oh my god, this is building. Where is this going? But then I'd be like, wait, now let me look at it as an art nerd and let me like scan it and stuff and like look at everything. Be like, and it's kind of like this I Spy game of like, wait a second, why that guy's flipped or like that like I'm nerding out about Huxley, so I'm gonna ask you these questions. But like in the first couple panels, and this makes me think that you had drawn it and then you were like you changed it later and you're like fuck it, we're just going this way now. Like the eye piece for like Max or K or one of them, it's like one way
Yeah,
the first couple panels and then it changes and then it's just that
yeah.
new way
It's a
forever.
little
And I was
inconsistent.
like
It's a
interesting,
little
but like
inconsistent where it's like,
I'm
actually, that should have been Max, but it's okay. It's okay.
but as I'm reading it, I'm like if I'm imagining drawing this and I've drawn so far into it, I'm just like fuck it, dude. I just want to be done with this already. And it's fine and it's
Because
good.
a lot of it is like, because a lot of it at the start was like, I saw it as a color script. So I wasn't thinking too specifically about the design until later, where it was like, okay, they need to be more distinct. Okay, I'm gonna have this more of like a samurai looking thing with goggles, and Kai will be a little bit more of a
Like the rectangle.
like a black line kind of bar,
Mm-hmm.
but with goggles in the middle. And I kind of accentuated that later more in certain shots, but like even the 3D model is a little not quite like a black bar, but like I
Mm-hmm.
tried to make it more like that as we went on to make them look a little more distinct. And okay, this is like the commander helmet maybe, and this is like the recruit.
Yeah.
Um, but
That
earlier on, it was still like finding itself.
I loved
But the
like
demon
noticing that.
completely changed actually. The original demon drawings, I kind of kept some of it from the side, but like the front was totally different. Like his face was totally different. And I remember I thought it was like, oh, that's pretty cool. And then I moved on. And then when I got to Carmack, when he's like this glowing purple
Mm-hmm.
character, I was like, it turned out too cool. And then it made the demon look kind of like weak. So I had to go
Oh,
back and like
interesting.
take it up to 11 and make him look way more aggressive and
It's
evil. And I'm glad I
insane.
did that because it would have been like, it just wouldn't have been very intimidating looking.
Yeah.
And then once I redid that, it kind of stayed. And but the demon kind of changes a bit too, where like it's a full shot and it's like way more big or
Yeah.
it's
I don't
a
notice
little
the
different
demon.
here and there.
Yeah, I'll have to go back and look. I didn't notice the demon changing too much, mostly because it was like I think in shadow, and I didn't notice it too much. But it's cool
Yeah.
to see the progression of the artist behind this whole project. Because even at the end, you're using like just straight up 3D models of like Max and Kai, which is like
Yeah. Yeah.
that's when the 3D models got emailed over.
It's almost
That's
like
when that happened.
it's almost like because it took so long, it's like almost like the evolution of an artist growing. Also, the
Yeah,
whole
yeah.
it's kind
I
of
love
that's kind
that.
of crazy too from that
It's cool.
standpoint. Yeah.
Imagine reading Akira and seeing Otomo's art style get better and change. Like
It like
what
turned
a
into the movie. By the end, it turns into the movie. You're
the
like, whoa.
paintings, yeah. Like what a unique experience. So I mean, I feel like even on a technical level, that's what makes this graphic novel so interesting and so unique. Is that you don't really see that in other graphic novels. You don't see the artist's style changing and developing and maturing or finding its own throughout the thing. Like there is a period where it looks like a I don't know if you got help, but there's a period with like the pre kind of the prequel era of like, you know, the blue and red scenes. I was like, that looks so different. That doesn't look like the concept arty, photo bashy. It's almost like it's more polished. It's almost like painterly and like there's like some 3D ness.
Mhm.
Was that like you using 3D models and like getting more comfortable with
It was a
that?
bit, yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, that was definitely like once I was at 343 and doing Blender and stuff, and it was like, oh
Oh,
my god, I figured out how to do this. I don't know how I'm going to do this flashback sequence.
oh, that's
Uh,
cool.
and again, it was just like I was experimenting at work, and then I would experiment on the graphic novel, and I experiment with that at work, and like
Yeah.
that was another thing I was going to talk about was like like back to kind of part about picking jobs
Mm-hmm.
where you're learning and excited versus like picking something that you're just coasting just for work. Because like giving 100% of yourself and being excited on the job then feeds into whatever you're doing. You're excited about it and you'll learn, like you're learning all day. I think that the goal is like you're so excited and learning something new all day. And then if you're working on your stuff at night, like I was, I'm so excited to apply that into what I did and I'll learn something new. And then the next day I'll have leveled up even more. And it's just
Yeah.
like this positive feedback loop of always like
Yeah.
leveling up.
Yeah.
And it's making your day job work better. It's making your personal work better. And you're
Yes.
just, it's
Yeah.
like a Dragon Ball Z like
Yeah. Yeah.
training
Yeah.
montage or
Yeah.
something.
You're in a hyperbolic time
Going to
chamber.
9,000 or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
You're.
I love thinking like that. It's just
Yeah.
like, and whatever you got to do to like find that situation, whether that's like your personal stuff or day job stuff, or oh, I'm going to learn a new program and I learn Blender. Like, how do I do that? How do I create a new schedule for myself so that I'm always improving? And I think when I was traveling, I didn't have. I think at the time everyone was using like Modo and like Octane and
Yep.
like all this stuff, and
C4D.
I I couldn't use it on my laptop,
Yep.
so I felt like I was falling behind the industry. And then when I settled in Seattle, it's like, okay, I'm gonna now I get to learn this and I get to try Octane. I got to try this,
Key
but I think
shot.
Modo was like dying off at that point, and now everyone was switching to Blender. It's like, okay, I'm gonna learn Blender. How do you do this? And it was like every day I would at least try to learn one or two new things. And so at first it's really slow, but over the course of a year, it's like, wow, I learned like 600 new things. Like I
Yeah.
grew so much, and it was like really fun to just like, oh, I'm gonna do this tutorial this week, and I'm gonna try to. I have to do these like Forerunner things, and there's this Jama tutorial where he's doing like this drawing in Blender. How do you even
Mm-hmm.
do that? Let me
Mm-hmm.
try that. Maybe that's gonna lead to some cool result for this design I have to do by Thursday, and like just always experimenting like that and
Interesting.
growing. It's really fun.
It's cool.
And
Now.
then again, that leads to this, and then you're like, oh, maybe I could, like that turned out really cool. I wonder if I could use it for the scene I've been struggling with. Oh my God, that's so cool. Oh, I learned something new here. I can try it for this thing I have to do, and it just
Yeah.
feeds into itself.
Dude, I love that because now I'm gonna be going back and reading and thinking like, I wonder what project he was working on when he was illustrating this portion. Was this Hobbit? I don't know, Hobbit or something like Elysium. Um, yeah, yeah. I remember, but I was surprised to hear you talk about learning Blender and not seeing a lot of 3D stuff in this until like later on because I always thought you were a 3D artist because of all the ZBrush stuff.
Uh, Sort of. I mean, part of why I did this was to like because during the day job, it kind of got further and further away from like what I considered art. Like art to me was like I'm gonna get a pencil, I'm gonna draw something I think is cool, and I'm gonna paint it in Photoshop,
Oh my
and I
God.
feel like I'm an artist. I feel like I made art today. And
Interesting.
at the day job, it was like photo bashing came in real quick. Everything had to
Mm,
look photoreal, and I didn't feel like an artist doing that. I was like, I just took some photos from Google and
wow.
like I didn't take those photos. I mean, we made something unique at the end of the day, but like I don't really feel like I'm an artist doing that. But if that's what the
Mm,
job needs to keep income coming in, it's like working in the industry is like an arms race where you don't control anything. And part of me, like the way for me to be okay with that was to have my own thing that was like completely untouched. Like I'm just gonna be an artist. I'm gonna draw everything and paint it. Um, and whatever I got to do during the day, I'll learn whatever I got to learn. You need me to do 3D.
mm,
Okay, they don't want me to work on the Hobbit. I'll learn ZBrush and show them.
mm,
Oh my
mm.
God, I didn't know you could do this. You want to work on the Hobbit? Like, yes, I
Yeah,
do, of course.
yeah,
Like, whatever I have to do to keep up with the industry benchmarks, you kind of
yeah,
have to.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah,
just
yeah.
the
It's
way it
just
is.
like
So,
mindless. You
like, I
turn
was
brain
okay
off.
with that. So
Yeah,
for me, it was like I've separated myself a little bit, but then found a way to feed them into each other later on.
yeah.
Um,
Huh? Because I remember seeing your 3D stuff very early on, like the apes, and then the K.
Yeah, that was all like to learn how to get better. That was because I wanted to work on the Hobbit, and I basically taught myself ZBrush over a weekend,
Wow.
and then showed it to some producer or something on Monday, like, oh hey, here's some stuff I did. And they're like, oh my God, I didn't know you could do this. Do you want to work on
Yeah,
the
yeah.
wolves or something? I was like,
Oh, that's
sure,
amazing.
I'll give
Wow.
it a shot. Um,
I know that you did. I remember early on Katron, like the 3D model of like the soldier dude with like the gun,
Yeah, yeah.
like that. I remember seeing that everywhere, and I always associated that with you and your work. And then I think that got used in Valerian as concept art, and then that got made
Well,
into a real
yeah.
thing.
It was the original was slightly different or more aggressive, and then Luc Besson wanted like a skinnier, tweaked version. I was like, yeah, sure, whatever.
Did you
I'm
make
not
it
going to use that for
originally for
anything.
the movie, or did you make it on your own and then pull it up later
No, it's
once
just
you're on?
personal work. It was just personal work I did.
That's crazy.
And then he just liked it and was like, oh, we need a cool robot. Like, how about? Or I think we were starting to explore some other stuff for the movie, and he was just like, what if we just use this? I was like, okay,
That's, I
why
mean,
not?
I would be
Or
like,
we still change it. We definitely change it. He's like, I want this to be like this and this a little. So it's like a modified version for the
but
movie.
I mean, that's still, that's, I don't know. Like me, I think that's amazing. For if somebody pull up my old personal group, like, hey, we're just going to put this in the movie. Is that cool with you? You're like, yeah, please. That would be amazing. And you're going to like, what? I'm going to see that in theaters. That's huge. And like, I didn't even have to make it up. Like, that's the ultimate validation. Like, my art brain from 5 years ago was validating, was like worth enough for this movie to take this thing and then do something with it. I don't know. I've like, again, over the course of your career, I feel like there have been like checkpoints of like big things that are like, this is Ben Mauro. No, no, now this is the new thing. Now this is, and I think eventually when you were ready to set that checkpoint, it was Huxley, and now you're like, it's Huxley. That's me. That's my thing. Now I wanna. It's mostly that now. No, dude. Yeah, like I was definitely getting Halo vibes, Halo energy from Huxley. First of all, John, Halo, the visions. It's like Cortana speaking to Master Chief. I don't know, like,
What did you say first?
oh, John,
What did you say the first thing?
just the name John.
Oh, I see, I see.
Yeah, and I was like looking for 117 in there. I know obviously that's like that wouldn't make sense. But like as of like I know Ben likes Halo, and I know he's like obsessed with like the Forerunner, and I even could see the Forerunner influence in some of the designs in the comic. But as a fan of all this stuff, as a fan of Akira, and like there was this one scene where they're in the sewers and there's like this really wide shot of all the pipes funneling in. I'm like, that's totally something in Akira. I've seen that similarly with like the pipes kind of feeding into the sewer scene. That's a similar. I'm like seeing all the references. I'm seeing all the influences. There was this. Let me try to remember. Damn it. There was some other one that was like, yeah, I don't know. It was just like I could see the video game and the film references and the manga references, a lot of the Mobius stuff, like all the tendrils and stuff, like all that stuff, the designs on blue guy. Oh, the blue guy, I caught something. This is Ben Mauro lore. I don't know if this is like Huxley lore, but it's like the blue guy, he was the tribe of the something. It was like
Cerulean.
Cerulean. That's the name of one of your monsters from way back when, too. The blue,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
parrotfish guy. I was like, dude, why does that sound familiar? And then I had to scroll the way back, and I was like, oh, that's where. So I feel like, Huxley has been, like, peppered in. It's, like, plucked. All the ideas have been plucked from a bunch
I mean,
of
it's like,
things your
yeah, it's like
entire
everything I've
career.
worked on, everything. It's like distilling everything you like into something, hopefully something new. Um, and now it's kind of grown even bigger. Like the next book, Oracle, is like
Oh, yeah, pre-ordered that.
it's gotten to a point where it's more of like a team now. I just can't do everything.
Wow.
Um, I'm still like writing and dictating like the kind of like trilogy of things. I mean, it's kind of going backwards in time, like prequels.
Mm.
Um, but it's cool to see it just grow to something way bigger than I ever could have. I thought it would have taken a lot longer. It's just growing a lot more.
Yeah.
Than, um, yeah.
Yeah. And you're doing. I see you posting about it every single day. Just in your story, like fuck it, like people are gonna know. I don't care if it's annoying. Because like that's one thing I wish I could do about my artwork that I don't do enough of. And I see other artists doing this, and I'm like, I should be reposting my best work always because people always need to see that.
Yeah.
And like I feel like I do it. I put it out once, and I'm like, that's it. I can never post it or talk about it ever again. Otherwise, I look, bad or something. But I have to get over that hump of like, no, I did this thing. People need to see it all the time. Like, It's not a bad thing.
Yeah, it's more of like, I mean, I kind of don't like these kind of like social media marketing influencer guys, but some of the stuff they say is fairly accurate, where it's like they basically make like 900 videos saying basically the same thing, and it is a little annoying, but at a certain point, like what they're saying is still pretty, like if it's resonating, it's like,
Yeah.
I agree,
Yeah.
that's good. But also part of the reason I do it is because um, a lot of people aren't on the internet every day. Like I'm not looking at artists' work every day. So if they only post something like 2 times a year, I probably am not going to see it.
Yep.
But if I'm like scrolling and the algorithm, like they posted it once that day, it'll probably show up in my feed. I'm like, oh, this is rad. Like,
Yep.
what is this? Like some new story they posted.
Yep.
Like it will show up.
Yeah.
But if we only do it once a year, the likelihood of it spreading out is very low.
Yeah.
So,
I get it. No, I think especially with like now, like how you get stuff out now with social media, like absolutely those old methods of like posting it once and leaving it alone, somebody will come to this website and find it. Like, no, you have to put it out. And I think that's definitely, I think it's also easier when it's like, hey, I made a thing. It's like a product. It's not really me specifically. It's this thing I made. It's separate. You can just kind of like pump it up constantly because you're like, hey, look at this thing, look at this thing, like look at all these pictures of these things I did. But it's like, it's not me. It's not me. It's this thing. It's like there's like an emotional separation. So it's a lot easier. And as you see it growing, and this is gonna be a big thing. You guys are gonna want to get the novel or whatever. Like, it's like, yeah. I mean, I think it makes total sense. And so I love seeing it because I'm just like, I will sometimes like be like, oh, I don't think I've seen that one. That's a new one. And then I look, I'm like, oh wait, I did like that post. That's just
yeah, or
another
like,
image that I
exactly.
didn't even
'Cause it's
notice.
just like, yeah. Especially, I mean, it gets interesting because I mean, you start getting into like business stuff where it's like, okay, a product's coming out. How long in advance do you tell people about this product? Did we let people know too early? Do you do a bunch of marketing like only the week before, 3 weeks before, half a year before? Are you like, then when it's out, do you just stop?
Yeah.
Or do you keep going?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it's a constant learning process, and that's again, it never ends. Like, okay, we did it this way on the first book. What worked well? What didn't work well? Let's try this on the second book. Let's keep the momentum going this way. Do you do a lot of interviews? Do you do no interviews? Do you do a couple things? Like, how far do you push
Yeah.
things?
Yeah.
So a lot of it's just like understanding that, like how far to take certain things. Do I go to every Comic-Con? Do I go to like just one? Is it not make sense for me to do that? Should I have a booth? Should someone else have a booth? Like, yeah, it's just a lot of that side of thing. That side of thing is a bit of a mystery to me too, where it's like, okay, I made a cool thing. People like it. But how do you talk to like the guys on comicbook.com and IGN and like how do you do that? How do you get it to all these people so that they care? And there's like a layer of just like marketing influencer management people that do that stuff. And it's just like, that's been an interesting rabbit hole to find. Like, okay, here's a few that do this but are only focus in the comic book gaming space. Like, okay, let's see what they can do. It's fascinating,
Yeah,
it's
I
just
bet.
like the same thing with like, make a thing and let's make a movie. It's like there's a whole web of people in between that make that happen. You have to navigate this spider web of like, does this person actually know what they're talking about? Is that real?
Yeah.
Like, do they really know this guy?
Yeah.
Or do they actually know the agent that can know the guy? Or are they
Yeah,
lying? Like,
Are they gonna
what's
steal
going
my
on?
thing? Yeah. The marketing.
I don't know. It's like it never ends. But it's like, it's like fascinating because like I would ask like a bunch of the directors I worked with, and like, hey, when you launch this movie, like, how did you do all the interviews to get it out there? Like, what agency did you use? Like, oh, I don't know, man. The studio just did something. I was like, who does
That's
this? It's
amazing.
Like, there's the thing here, there's the thing there. Like, how do you do this part? I don't know
Yeah.
this part. Like, and no one could answer. And I was like,
Okay. If you find out
there's a lot of that, right?
you need to make another
anything?
you need to make another art life business video once you figure this out and tell us, because I think I'm also
Yeah,
curious.
sure.
Do I need an agent? Do I need to join a union? How do I get this stuff out there? How do I make it real?
Well, if you make a product, here's who you talk
Yeah,
to get
exactly.
the word out so it's on website. Because that's a dubious thing too. It's like there's definitely certain things where it's like you can put out your own press release, but then it's not super organic, or it
Mm,
feels weird, or like it doesn't like it's not like the big websites like an IGN or something. Like they're journalists and they choose what they want to write about, and they're like it's like who is that person that says, "Hey, Sarah or Tony or whoever, like remember I gave you your last favorite graphic novel, like you should really check out this one. I think you'll like it."
mm-hmm.
And that's a much more that's the real way it should happen. And if
Yeah.
they think it's cool, they'll write something about it, as opposed to just maybe it bouncing around, but it's not really getting in front of like uh, true comic book fans, or like that culture that you would hope it gets to. Um, yeah, that's a fascinating one that I'm in the middle of figuring out right now. Yeah.
That's yeah, it's good to know. I mean, even I think the trailer was like a big that was the thing for me when I saw that. I kept seeing that one of like I keep forgetting which one it was, but looking up and there's a really bright light and then it turns into shadow. I see that in my dreams. I have seen that so many times. And I even went to was it Sava who did the video, the first trailer?
Sava did the first one, and then Siama Pedersen did the second one.
I think I went to Sava's Patreon and I watched him explain the breakdown of how he did the all entire animation for it, and it was really amazing. And then I watched a talk with you a couple of years ago at like Lightbox where you talked about the 3D models, how those got created, and I do want to get to like looking at stuff, but I obviously have like a million more questions to ask. Um, I just want to know when you how did you get the funding to make the short film? Because that looked like a ton of work and that was not you doing it yourself. You know how to do 3D modeling, you know how to draw, you know how to do all this stuff, but you were like somebody else needs to take this and I need to hire somebody to do this. But like
Yeah, I
something
mean,
like
same
that
kind of
looks
thing.
so
You
high
know,
budget. Like
yeah.
how did you was that funding just you working
Same kind
putting
of. Well, I never stopped working for other people, so I always have a job. So it's just
so you would just get the
salary man.
paycheck, pay your rent, all that kind of stuff, and then this chunk
Well,
of
it's
money is
like it's
going
like
into the bank.
it's not like it's as long as it's not all at once, it's okay. It's like okay, I can this much every month is I can do.
Hmm.
So it's like it's just finding a way to make it work.
Okay. I'm so because the thing I'm curious about is that like I've started to now explore hiring artists because like I did the Kira stuff that you saw and I'm like what if I did that again but I asked for help this time, what could that look like? So that's kind of where I'm at now, where I'm like, hey, you're a really good hard surface modeler, you have all the tools, all the shortcuts that I don't have, can I just hire you to make this cell or whatever, and you can do it faster than me and it'll look amazing. So then I did that and I'm like, okay, cool. Like now this is done, but I spent money. That's weird. I've only ever been hired to make art. I've never spent money on all the artists. Like this is like, there's like you're in the opposite position. Now you're the client and you're like, I want to get feedback, but I know how much I hate getting feedback and all the you're it's like a very interesting place to be. And then
Yeah.
you're also spending like hundreds or thousands of dollars sometimes on like a model. And you're like, could I have made maybe half of that model and then sent them over like a maquette for them to sculpt over? Could I've saved some? You start getting money saving because especially if you're like a frugal person,
Yeah.
you get into money saving and you're like, you
Well, a
have
lot
to
of it was
turn
that
that
too, where
off.
it's like for the new trailer, like everything was directed in advance. All the environments were 3D models and 3D scenes. All the characters were done from the previous trailer. So there was a way to cut that down a lot.
Okay.
Um, so a lot of it was very, yeah, like I was very smart about it just because like I probably cut half the budget in half because of
Okay.
all the work I did. I'm
Yeah.
like, I just need you, like this is all done. I just need you to make these look pretty now. And
Mm-hmm.
you don't have to do all this work. Like I
Mm-hmm.
saved you a year of production design and
Yeah.
model making. Like you just need to do this part.
I think you see that too with like with some of the movies that get made with like like Godzilla or Flow or whatever, like these movies that are made that are like the VFX artist or the creator, like the person who's directing it has VFX experience or whatever, so they know where to cut, where to recycle, all this kind of stuff. So I feel like that's kind of
Yeah.
the advantage of like you also, like you're a 3D modeler, you know how to draw. Hey, like you can sculpt that probably faster, or like just sculpt this part and I can finish it or whatever. Like there's some of that more like dynamic. It's not like put this into a black box, put a bunch of money into it, hope I get what I get. There's a lot, you can be more in the weeds of it, and you can kind of like work with the team more directly, and you can say like we should definitely put money into this. We don't need to put money into this because we already have this. We can recycle this. We can kit bash this. We can photo bash this. Like there's like that knowledge of how to be super resourceful when you're actually building the actual thing too, which is cool. But yeah, I mean, I've seen that. I've seen Sava break it down. I've seen the animation, and I'm just like, this looks expensive, and yeah, I just I'm like, it's hard to know how much money to have prepared if you want to get something at that level. Do you just like, was there periods where you're like, oh, can you pause on this so I can like save up some more money and then give you more?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Definitely.
Was there ever
So a lot
like,
of it too. I mean, even like Siama made a Star Days. I think most of that he
mm,
did himself though. So like it helps to
wow,
know.
that's right.
It helps when the person like it helps when you can do everything yourself. At the end of the day, it was just like, okay, I just don't have that. Like, uh, I'll just do it. I'll just spend the weekend and do that shot because I just can't afford it. Like, it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's just if you wanted, it's like if you want something done faster, it's going to cost more.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't mind it taking a long time, it's much less expensive. But then you risk. I guess the risk is, oh, maybe someone else does it better sooner, or it's irrelevant by the time it comes out, or whatever.
Yeah.
Um, so it's just like time versus like timing versus cost versus feed and
Yeah.
yeah, good stuff.
I remember you just talking about like getting that animation done and how you had kind of a time window of like when you needed to be done by. And I remember thinking like when you're working on your own graphic novel, you're like, it'll be done when it's done. Who cares? But then when you're like hiring people to like actually make a thing, you're like, actually, we have to have it done by this point. So like, please, there's like now there's like strict
Well,
timelines.
I
There's like
think that was
expectations.
pretty relaxed. I think for the Sava trailer was pretty relaxed. I mean, generally, it's like as long as it's around, as long as there's no like harsh deadline and we have about a year to like fit it between all of our schedules, um, it should be okay. Because it was like a little chunk every month is okay. I have this much every month is okay. I can swing. Um, but yeah, it's just like figuring out how to break it down and like time management, resource management,
Mm.
yeah,
And I think again, familiar with,
budget management,
yeah, yeah.
learning how to be an accountant or something.
I think
Uh,
definitely
doing a
familiar.
lot of non-art things. Doing a lot of non-art
Yeah,
things.
like
Um,
the background, like the project, like exactly, like having the familiarity with the seeing a movie get made, being like, I have to make a Gantt chart or
yeah,
some shit like that. Like this is some stuff I got to do that I've never thought of having to do, but I'm glad I have seen this happen. So now I know this is normal. I know I'm not getting like scammed or whatever, or like you just know like how the sausage is made, so you know exactly what to look for and how to.
or how long things take, and like, I mean, that's also kind of like leads into being a good like not necessarily business owner, but like art director or like team management and things like this, where you're like, we are heading towards this goal. We need to get all this work done efficiently by this date. And you can kind of get a sense of like, and then also like picking artists and picking people, like finding the team members for Huxley.
Yeah.
That took a long time. It's like trying
Mm,
people out, like trying to find people who just kind of get it is the hardest but most rewarding thing where you're like, oh, this person, I think this person would be a good fit. Like, let me kind of give them the target and see how close they get. Like, oh, that's pretty close, and they take
mm,
direction pretty well. But like, the best is finding someone that just you click with, and you almost just have to get out of the way. Like, hey, here's the story I want to tell, and here are the moments I'd love to see you bring to life. Like, and when you're ready to show me,
Yeah.
like come back and show me. And then they
Yeah.
show me, and it's just like that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Keep going. Go to the next
Wow.
scene. Like that's how I usually like to work with people, and find people that understand how to do that and work like that. And coincidentally enough, most of them also had the same background as me, where we all worked for Neill on different things.
Oh,
It's just like
wow.
it's the Neill checkbox. Like, did you work with Neill? Okay, great. We
Dude.
usually, because they all, I guess we all have the same kind of shared visual library. Where it's like the touch points that
Yeah, yeah.
we all kind of draw from. Yeah.
That's cool. Maybe Neil will direct the movie then. He has to.
I'd love to see that happen.
That would be amazing. Okay, dude, I know we've been talking for a long time, and I think my camera will probably die. So before that happens, if you do you have time, can we look at work? If not, we can do it
Sure,
tomorrow.
sure. Yeah.
Okay.
What would you want to see? I mean, it can be pretty informal.
Um,
Make sure there's no NDA stuff on my screen. We can just go to my art station or something. It's okay.
well, I was kind of
Or the
hoping you could
trailers
like
or
pull up like a.
whatever.
Do you have like a file or like something that you work in, like Photoshop or something? Are you able to show anything like that, like a Photoshop file or like a blend file or something? Are you able to do anything like that?
Uh,
Because
let's
I want to get
see.
into the weeds of like what
Blend
layer is
file. Let
that,
me see. Right.
or any of like the Huxley panels that you done that do. I'm assuming you assemble them like in
Yeah.
Photoshop or
Let me go
something.
to. Yeah. Let me go to some of the. Uh,
Quick question: what's the resolution of the Huxley drawing, the original one, the one that's like in the comic?
they're so huge. They're
Mm.
so big. The Huxley pages are like 7 or 8K. Like I was having so many issues with like
Oh my god.
RAM, because there were so many layers, because I was so stupid with it and just had like I was treating it like a digital painting with layers. So like, oh, I
Yeah.
might need to like
Come
change
back to
that. I'm
that.
not
Yeah.
gonna flatten that.
Oh,
So
interesting.
I just had like data management was a nightmare.
Did you lose any files?
And I think I almost did. I was so stressed out because I was traveling for 3 years, and I was worried about like things going to the cloud or whatever. Um, so I like just had hard drives, and then one of my hard drives, I was in like one of the hard drives like was on a table and it fell.
Oh
Like it
my
fell like three
god.
feet, and it was dead. It was just completely
Oh
destroyed.
no.
And I was just like, I don't think it was anything like super. Uh, I think it was just like reference and stuff, so it wasn't like critical
Oof.
files. But I was just like, oh my god, that
Oh
freaked me
my
out. So I was
god.
like triple backed up everything after that.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. That's always something I'd be curious about. Maybe just having some concept art guy explain file management and like where the hell they store everything and how and yeah. I saw early on when you were posting the very early drawings of Huxley. I think there was two other versions of Huxley. The face that everyone knows and loves now. There's two versions before that where it looked a little bit more like
I don't think
robotic.
those were. I don't think
It
those were for Huxley. There was just like different style. I was just
oh,
exploring that
it looked the
style,
same.
like different kind of robotics. And
It
then
had like a similar presentation style.
I, yeah, yeah. But then for some reason that character, I was like, oh, there's something really cool there. I really want to do something with this.
Is
Got to figure this out.
I know that how I felt when I first saw it, and this is I showed it to a friend of mine recently when I was in New York and I was reading it with him, or showing him all these pages and stuff, and telling him I was going to talk to you. But he said the same thing. He's a 3D artist, but he's a photographer, but he's a movie buff. So when he saw the Huxley drawing, he thought the same thing I thought, which is like District 9. Something about the design of
Interesting.
it is like makes me think of that prawn, like with the tendrils coming out the front, and something
Ah,
about how Huxley looks with the tubes coming out the front. It yeah, and that all ties back to to me subconsciously. Maybe it's like the stuff that you've worked on or the stuff that you're influenced by.
I didn't think about District 9. Maybe, but I don't know. Like that, the hardest part, like having him walk around and stuff, was
He's very
because there's
awkward.
all these tubes. Like, how do you move his head?
Yeah,
How do you?
Yeah.
We kind of haven't figured that
Yeah,
out.
yeah. Yeah, and like watching seeing him depicted in the graphic novels too is interesting because it's like some shots you just don't show. It's kind of like if you can't draw hands, you just don't show hands or feet. And I'm just like, we haven't seen this angle. We haven't seen like a top down angle of Huxley because I imagine that part is probably
Yeah,
like anatomically hard to figure out how exactly that's supposed to work right now.
until we went into like maybe 3D and stuff.
Yeah, it was cool seeing the 3D models too. There was for the first time I think I saw one of the duos without a helmet. It was like just his head and in the 3D
Yeah,
artwork, and
yeah.
I was like, oh, okay, interesting. Ben's never actually shown that himself, so I wonder if that's canon or if that's just like a stock 3D head that got put onto the body for the time being. Also, there was a lot of the photo bashy faces inside of the graphic novel made me wonder if any of them were your faces or like faces of people you knew.
Um, oh, that doesn't work. Hold on. Let me. Yeah, there you go.
Ooh, okay.
Let me see. What did I do here? I think it was just like a lighten adjustment.
So what's the
But
res of one of
I mean,
these?
everything is like
Oh, cool.
uh,
What's the res of that one? I'm gonna see. Wow, that's big. Okay.
7K pixels with like
And
800 layers or 150 layers.
so
No flattening whatsoever.
are you
You
able
can
to turn
see.
off like some of the layers so we can see like the original drawing and then kind of like
Yeah, the
interesting.
original drawing is usually at the bottom. Let me bring that up to the top.
I wish there was a
I
shortcut
think
to
that's the
just
original.
isolate one image in
Let's see.
Photoshop. Oh, dude, you
Oh,
don't
I
even
think
put
it's
them in
there. Oh, there.
folders.
No, I was so sloppy back then. It's so old now.
Yeah,
Let
it
me
does
look
look
at it.
different. It looks a little bit more like almost childlike, a bigger head.
I
It's like
think
you
because
give
I
him,
think that's the first time I drew him from different angles, and I was like, oh, maybe I'll change the design a little bit. Like, no, I really like that original one
yeah,
way more.
his eye
So I like his shoulder, or some
bigger.
of it was like I drew it really quick or small, and it was like that's not quite, or it's like I know it's not right, but I'll fix it in
Mm-hmm.
the painting kind of
Mm-hmm.
stuff. So things like that where it's like I don't have time to do it exactly right. I'm traveling right now,
Mm-hmm.
but I know how to do it in the so it's consistent kind of thing. Um,
Yeah.
but a lot of it, I mean, a lot of it's really just like painting. Some of the elements are from the hero drawing of Huxley, but a lot of it's like
Yeah.
some shading on top. Some of this is just like color adjustments. Um,
Interesting.
like almost a lot of it's like very traditional painting. Like, oh, I
Yeah,
need a
yeah. When I
black
was
layer on there. Like,
when I looked at, oh, is that like a kit bash element or something, or is that just like, is that like a little photo bash
I think it
element?
might be a joint from one of my
Something.
other paintings, but
Okay,
it was like a
cool.
cool like joint. I think it might be just this little piece like flipped or something,
Maybe,
or
yeah. As a chronic photo
it's like
basher,
the red
yeah, like as a chronic photo basher, when I did photo bash a
the red
lot,
outline and stuff.
I like to kind of catch when people recycle elements too. Is that sheetrock thing also like a separate layer, or is that was that just kind of painted
That might
in?
just be all painting, like
Wow,
all just
dude.
brush strokes. 'Cause a lot of it's all hand painted, to be honest. A lot of the
That's
early stuff was
hilarious.
very like hand painted. Some of the lines were like some of these extra
Mm.
lines like
Mm-hmm.
were added on top, but
Yep.
a lot of it was pretty, yeah, hand painted.
One.
This one was pretty hand drawn too, and then there was some minor photo stuff
Oh
like
yeah,
some of
yeah.
these like
Yep.
I think there's a bit of that. I think I
Yep. I've
fudged it
noticed.
better
I've,
for the final, but like there's a little bit of like these like I just liked how it looked.
yeah.
It stands out a little bit, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
But
the edges and your art style is something that I've also there's like it's like a photo bashy, very gritty texture, but every once in a while you just have like a hard outline on something to separate one piece from another, like a white outline or something.
I
And I
really,
always
yeah.
love that.
I mean, it's like a really old school. I don't know if it's like a Mobius or like a some old illustrators I liked would always do that, and I really liked how that. And also usually, or maybe it's like an anime thing where it's like it's usually like a warm color or complementary color to pop it out. So like this is a very cold, it's like a very cold drawing, but like it's like a warm outline to kind of separate the shape. In a I don't know. I really like how that feels.
Yeah, it's something I've seen a lot in your work before, and I don't think there's like necessarily a logic to it. It's just your style, but it's interesting to like catch that.
A lot of it is pretty. I mean, it's like old school. I mean, this is kind of like what I do on like spaceships on Elysium, like the
Just put a thing,
texture,
yeah.
like paint some graphic, and then do some like dirt alpha on the texture or something. I think the original is like it's just like that's the painting, but then it's like a dirt alpha.
Can you
A
zoom
lot of that
in?
too is like it's like a pencil drawing.
Can you zoom in on K and Max and the spaceship? I just want to see that because that looks very detailed and it
Those are
makes.
real, yeah,
So was
choppy.
that drawn
But
separately
like
and then scaled
it's
down?
probably, yeah, these were probably from another shot maybe, but it looked close enough. Or that was another thing to understand was like no one's going to see it this big.
Yeah.
Because I would zoom in and be detailing stuff, and I'd be like, "Oh yeah, this looks so great," and then I'd
Yep.
zoom out. I'm like, "Oh my god, no one's gonna see that. Like, if this
Yeah.
is printed, or none of those details are gonna show up, or it's just gonna get crunched together." So a lot of it was understanding like, I don't need to. It's like knowing where to spend your time, and trying to be as efficient as possible.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the concept art mindset. I feel like you can see that this is
Yeah,
the type
or
of
just the
artist that made
efficiency. It's
this.
like this is
Yeah.
gonna take 100 years.
Yep.
I don't have 100 years to do this.
Yep.
Let me try to do it in 5 to 10. We got to keep going, or this is never going to get finished.
Did you make
Eventually
concept? Did you make like concept art in the pipeline sense for this graphic novel of the characters and worlds, or did you just jump right in and start painting stuff?
as it went, there was
Okay.
no time for that. So it's just like I knew what was coming up, and I usually draw or sketch out like 5 to 10 or 15 like page layout. So I kind of knew what was coming. Like, oh, there's going to be a big city shot. It's stressing me out. I got to figure out what I'm going to do there. But it took so long to get pages done that I would kind of get some reference of this like architect I like or something, or the city in Barcelona that has cool city layout, and I'd be gathering reference while I was finishing one of the other pages. So it helped to like have a lot of time between that. But I think there's a pencil drawing in this one. I think we accidentally printed the wrong pencil drawing for this in the final book that we're gonna tweak for the like a future edition.
Oh, so you're trying to be selective with like what you're turning on and off.
That's the original thumbnail in my sketchbook,
Thumbnail.
actually.
That's cool.
So that was the original like. Okay, there's like a shot, and it's like a big epic shot, and then I figured out a way to get like the buildings and stuff.
When this was a shot.
That's one food.
Yeah, sorry. This shot I remember I remember specifically because this was in the trailer, and it was making me wonder like when Sava and the team that put together the trailer, they come to you with questions like, "Hey Ben, what exactly is this thing? Because I need to model it. Can you explain? Because I only see it from this one angle. This makes no sense on the 3D."
There was some back and forth for sure, and like explanation, like what exactly is this? How should we adapt it? But that's the fun of it, right?
Yeah.
Like that's the there we go.
Oh, that's cool.
That's the but that's where all the years of like working on the Spider-Man and whatever where you had to adapt other people's work for so many years, and it's like, okay, I know how to adapt my own work now.
Yeah.
Actually, this is already I've already like chopped things up and edited it, but you kind of get the idea. Like just all the rough painted stuff underneath, and then the pencil drawing on top.
Did you have any like attachment to the pencil drawing? Because sometimes when I see pencil drawings or inks, I'm like, those look sick, and then you see it painted over, you're like, oh man, something was lost. Did you have any feelings towards that?
For sure.
Yourself?
I mean, there's part of that too where it's just like I'd be so happy with the pencil drawing, and then I'm like, oh, I didn't really capture what I wanted to, but at least I have both, and hopefully people will see both. So it's always like mixed bag where it's like I love my pencil drawing, the painting turned out okay, or the painting turned out great, but the pencil drawing was like terrible. So I really saved that one. So it's like, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there were some of the more darker scenes. I would see the pencil drawings from like, oh my god, so much detail. It's kind of like
That too.
movies.
Like
There's a
that,
lot of like movies with amazing
yeah.
VFX gets covered up with atmosphere and rain, and you're like, damn, okay, wish I saw that version instead.
Yeah, that too, where it's like, um, yeah, like that underground shot with all the pipes and stuff. Like the
Yes.
pencil drawing, I was so happy with that, and then the painting was so dark and you can't really see anything. I was like,
Yeah.
ah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but I'm like, okay, I know, but I know I'm gonna print that pencil drawing. It's okay. But stuff like this was like really fun. But then
Damn.
this was drawn separately.
Hmm.
Uh, sorry, I just switched to a new PC and it has this weird like outline
Oh, you're
thing.
good. You're
That
good.
I always forget how
Photoshop
to
is
turn that
always
off.
doing weird new updates. Can you zoom in on one part because I want to ask about it from like a world building standpoint? The bottom,
Oops.
whoa, the bottom right. There's like a little arena of like two dudes fighting or something.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
What is that? Is that some kind of like bootleg fight that's
Like
going on?
gladiator pit
Yeah,
kind
yeah.
of
They're
thing.
just
Yeah,
like
yeah.
betting money on that. Whoever wins.
Yeah, so part of I think I referenced it in one of the lines where it's like we could sell it to the robot fighting pits or something like this
Yeah,
where it's
yeah.
like this is just one of the things that people do.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, yeah, like build robots and fight them
Yeah.
or whatever, like gambling kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
That's cool. Oh, I had
like
a
one of the early stories I wanted to do, one of the early narratives was like kind of a gladiator type story where it's like he's earning it. I don't know. I explored a lot of stuff, so it's like, oh,
yeah.
I scratched that, but I'll add it in there in some way.
I
A
mean
little
that for me,
corner of a panel.
for me as like an aspiring whatever storyteller person that makes their own thing eventually, that's always, something that I'm curious about is like how many iterations of how many versions of story of Huxley where it's like, nah,
So many,
that has a bad
so many.
ending, that doesn't make sense. That's already been done
Yeah,
before, and then gotta go
ending was
back
the
into it.
hardest, and then a lot of it too was constantly keeping an eye on like again like what is the height of entertainment coming out, and has anyone done this before? And if they have, like, I don't want to do that because they just did it,
Mm-hmm.
or
Or
it's kind of too similar to this, or I want to do something different, but don't do something different just to be different. Where
yeah,
it's like it will be stronger if it's like this.
I I
So that was tough.
as I finished it, like there was a couple parts of it that were like there was definitely some twists which I love. I love a nice twist. And then there was also some surprises which I always love. But I think you also did narratively a lot of the things that like a movie producer would want to see the answers to. Like what's the backstory to this? Why do we care about that?
Mhm.
Who is the main character and like why are they important? Like you do answer some of those more like just very obvious kind of questions that a good story needs to have. You don't like make it too cryptic and too artistic and abstract where you're like, this is so new and off the wall.
Yeah.
You still have some like story elements and archetypes that like are consistent that people can be familiar with. And there's some, I mean, I don't know how much you want to get into like spoilers. I don't know if that's like important if you, but maybe I can cut this part out or something if you're worried about it. But there's some parts of it.
We can. I mean, we can just do an edit, and I can say like, yeah, maybe we don't release that part or
Okay. Well,
whatever. Yeah, yeah.
okay, so the one thing I'll say is just that in the trailer, and then in all of the promotional art that you've done, it seems like Max and Kay are like the leads. But in the graphic novel, it turns out that they're really not. And it's like Huxley is the lead. They
Mhm.
kind of quote unquote fall off at some point, and we just kind of don't kind of pay attention to what they're doing. It's now Huxley's story, and from a narrative point in terms of creating a whole piece, I can see why the focus needed to shift on him and the background
Yeah.
and his involvement in this world. So I could see narratively why it was important to just, okay, we need to focus on this person because this is where the story is. These other characters, they just set it up. They introduce. You think it's about them, but it's really about Huxley and all in the depth. And then this guy, the reveal of how this guy came to be, that was like over the course of two
Yeah.
pages. I was just like, wow, okay, this is feeling cinematic to me. And that was like kind of a reveal that I was like, interesting. So there's this like, now I'm curious, where this is gonna go, how this is gonna turn out. Yeah, like just the way
It's
characters
interesting
get
because
introduced.
I feel like no one did that yet. I think Stranger Things in the last season kind of did something similar. And I was like, oh, they kind of did something, but I still feel like
Oh,
it's different enough where it's just
but I
like the way a hero and a villain are kind of connected
similar.
together.
Yeah.
I feel like I hadn't seen that before, and that's why I wanted to do something like that.
I think that
Um,
was like the thing that I didn't even think of Stranger Things. I thought more Harry Potter. I thought of like Horcruxes, how
hmm.
like Voldemort put pieces of himself and all these things, and inside of Harry Potter, the main character. That's what I thought of. And it's like that's why in the end they're like whatever, they can't really defeat each other. It's like there's this tie, this connection. Why is this character important? Because they're actually connected to the main villain. It's cool. It's a really cool device. Like you don't really see a lot. Even if you do have you seen it, you don't see it a lot.
Yeah,
And it's got a lot of room for like you adding your own flavor to it.
I wanted it to kind of feel like, I mean, there's some subtlety there where it's like, would certain things be interpreted? Like, I wanted to feel like someone was doing something that could help save the world, and maybe he screwed something up somehow, which led to the kind of fallout of all these horrible things that have happened. And he realizes what has happened. And even now, his poor decision is running rampant. Like pieces of himself, even that decision that tried to be saved and they tried to correct it, it is even causing more harm. And he's basically his he's experienced on the ground what humans are living through from his poor decision. And will he make the decision to make it right and fix what he broke?
But
And this horrible thing that's been chasing them and trying to kill them is an even further example of this poor decision manifesting
yeah,
itself into like uh
but what I love about the villain is that it makes you kind of sympathize with him. And that's something that like for example Thanos was really good. He did the snap, you're like, "Hey man, I get it. You have a very good reason to do that. I'm not mad at you. I'm glad you got what you
like
wanted."
kind of makes sense.
Kind of,
Kind of
I
makes
get
sense.
it. So like with this villain, it's like on the surface, like you're judging a book by its cover, very evil, spiky, red eyes, like demonic, like you don't trust him. But in the story, it's like no, there's good in there, and that good has something to do with our main character's good, and they actually need each other. And maybe he comes around. There's growth there. There's pieces fall off, whatever. Like the shell comes down and you see the real thing underneath.
Yeah.
And I
There's
mean,
more there than,
yeah,
and it's also, as also part of it was like uh from the outside it's like, oh, it's just some like desert comic book, and you get inside and you're like, not exactly,
yeah.
not
The
exactly.
desert part is
There's a lot
barely
more
it.
there.
Yeah, the desert. It's
But
like
that's
it's
why I try to like, yeah, I try to like make the branding a certain way, but there's like, I like the iceberg analogy. Like
yep,
you see a little bit and to draw you in, and I hope there's a lot you enjoy a lot more than what brought you in the door, kind of thing. Like, oh, this
yeah.
is way different than I expected. Like I didn't expect that. Like that's
And
really cool.
and also because I've heard you say that this might get made into a movie, or you want it to be or even a video game. Like you've mentioned you want it to get exist in those mediums. As I was reading it, I was like, I wonder when they make the movie if they're gonna start it with this scene. You know how they kind of start movies with like a what's going on, who are these people kind of thing, and then they like 10,000 years later, and then you see kind of like a whole new story, but then it connects to how it started in the beginning. That's how I feel like. I mean, I'm not a director, but
Yeah.
I could see the movie being
Well,
starting that way with like on a human scale, and then cut to the
there's
future.
definitely, yeah. Well, we're in the middle of adaptations of things, and like a lot of the adaptations were expanding Kai's backstory because I just didn't have time to like
Yeah,
draw all that. So I kind of just had to throw you into the middle of it.
that's fun though,
Like, oh,
right?
here's their first mission. They find the thing, like right there.
Yeah,
Uh, but a lot of the adaptation has been like setting up Kai and definitely changing some things, which is fine. Like,
yeah,
I kind of told myself like the graphic novel is like I wrote and illustrated everything myself. Whatever happens after this, like, is totally cool because my pure expression version is on
it's
the
done.
page
Yeah,
and I'm cool with it changing. But also the prequels that are being written expand a lot of the lore The next book is like Max in the early days of the army, like in his training, when there was a bigger like empire before everything was destroyed. And like this is like after the fallout of like an empire was destroyed. And so
Yeah.
it's like him finishing his training and joining the army, like the Ronin army, and we learn a lot more about the Phantoms, and not specifically that one, but like we
Yeah.
understand more about like what this thing is, how it's in the world,
Yeah.
how it can be used, and meet some new characters and
Yeah.
new factions and stuff. And like,
There in the beginning of the book there's like a couple paragraphs of like setting it up, like this in this world this exists, these are the kind of characters and this is what happens. It kind of sets the rules, so then you don't really have to like fill in those blanks when you just start right in. I feel like the movie would be like, let's take this and let's make this a whole like first act or whatever to like really explain that. Yeah, man, it's so it's and also having already made the trailer is kind of like a proof of concept, like here's what's possible, here's what we can
yeah,
do. When you were making the graphic novel, were you drawing certain panels being like, this will be a shot one day and I should probably draw it in a way that would make sense for like a movie or a game or something?
not not really, but like I think I definitely tried to, because this is 100% not an American graphic novel. This is 100% not like a traditional, like I tried to use everything I've learned about from working in film to make it as cinematic as possible in the way the story is told, the way that scenes change. Like I feel it's
Hmm.
very much like how I would watch a movie or how I would like direct scenes. Like it, I feel like it flows
Yes.
pretty well, like visually. Like it feels like I'm watching a TV show or a movie or something. Like, oh, and then now I'm learning about this character and how these story paths intertwine and like how they cross over. Um,
Yes, I'm just gonna grab it because
it was definitely intentional. Because like after working with Neill and everyone, like I kind of see how they would tell stories. Okay, I need this kind of shot. This character has to have. This is the moment when this character rescues the other character, and I want it to look this way. And so you're definitely thinking about like
yeah,
cinematic shots and how they should look. And
you like when I look at this, you don't have a lot of square panels. It's all very like wide format cinematic panels.
Mhm.
Like even if you have a square panel, it's like kind of cut in half or it's like there's some breaks. But I could tell that this is made by somebody who has worked on movies because a lot of the panels are like widescreen, ultra wide, kind of like
Yeah,
cinescope kind
yeah.
of, yeah.
I mean, a lot of it is very like it's very like Japanese mixed with Euro graphic novel kind of stuff.
Hmm.
So I feel like I took a lot of, but also taking everything I learned from working on films and cinematography and like storytelling moments and like oh, we need an establishing shot,
Hmm.
like the the flow and pacing. I mean, that was another part of it, was just like when you're planning out shots, like if you just have like 10 pages of like close up of heads, that is extremely boring to look at, right?
Okay, interesting.
It's very easy to draw. It's very easy to draw that because I don't
Yeah,
have to draw anything complex, but I can just have like a bunch of faces. Like I'm
talking
talking
heads.
about this. I'm
Yeah.
talking about that. I'm talking
Hmm.
about that. I'm talking about that. And that is a way to tell a story. But it's
Yeah.
like, okay, I want the shot, like the mid ground shot of like the robot waking up. So someone's looking at him. Let's have the close up of him fixing something. Let's have him smacking him.
I feel
Uh,
I feel
have
like
them walking out and seeing this giant vista, like the close up discussion to a build up to a payoff. And every certain amount
yes.
of pages, we need a bigger full page like spread, even though that takes me like a way too long to paint those.
Yeah.
Like there's like this visual flow of like here's a scene payoff, here's a scene payoff, and
Yeah.
like uh,
But that's
just from
also
like a reading visual experience for sure.
that's also
Like thinking about that.
one of the things I think about as like, you know, as an aspiring concept artist, as a concept artist, sometimes when you're working, and you sometimes you see these concept arts for like movies where you watch the movie like Winter Soldier or like whatever Marvel movie, and then you see the concept art, you're like, why does a concept art look identical to the shot that I saw in the thing? Did the concept artist come up with this cinematography and composition, or you know, is this their kind of like, do they own this shot because they made the concept art for it, they made the image, and then somehow they just put that exact shot in the movie? That relationship's always to me been one of those where I'm like, as an artist, I put the expectation on myself to have the eye that like a award-winning cinematographer would have when I make my shots. Because if I want them to look cinematic, I have to make them as good as the person that directed like Blade Runner or whatever. And then sometimes that can be one of those things that's like there's no way I can make this shot hit in the way that I would want it to, but I just kind of have to do my best.
I
And
think it helps a lot. It honestly helps a lot sometimes. Like sometimes like someone will just do whatever they want, but like a lot of times the keyframe story moments inform almost directly the shot in the movie.
wow.
Um, like some of my Elysium frames, like I remember seeing it was like one where the spaceship crashes on Elysium and Matt Damon's character is like reaching up to like
Yeah, yeah.
unlock the girl who's stuck, and like
Hmm.
my painting, I mean, obviously the set's different, but like the shot, the lighting, like it was pretty damn close, and I was like, "Whoa, that's really cool!" Like I didn't expect that. I just thought they needed some like quick thing, and
Yeah,
sometimes it didn't match up at all, but other times you're like, "Oh wow, they really like kind of made that shot that I painted. Like that's really cool."
yeah.
Um,
Oh, so it's just like
because a lot of the time the VFX just has nothing. The VFX just has like a blank screen. Like, what does this look like? We need to go. It's due tomorrow. Like, we got to figure
oh,
this out. And they're like,
wow.
just use that. I don't know, man. Like
Wow.
everything's so fast, you know.
Okay, okay. I had no idea because I'd always just look at that and think like, oh, so if I want to be a concept artist, I need to have the trained eye of like a cinematographer. Otherwise, my concept art is going to suffer. That's always like the worry, I
But
think.
I mean that it's also like that's also like I was gonna mention that earlier. Like that was one of the reasons I wanted to go to Weta too, or that was one of the humbling things when I went to Weta Workshop was like I came in again the like low knowledge, high arrogance. Like I came in thinking I was like could do a bunch of stuff or knew what I was doing, and I never saw that level of versatility in a team of artists before, where it was like one day you were working on like historical armor for a Chinese war movie, and then the next day you're doing some Elysium sci-fi stuff, and then the next day you're doing some Lord of the Rings thing, and the next day you're doing some Superman future thing. It's like
Wow.
that's 1 week, and you have to be
Wow.
able to be good at all that.
Wow.
One day you're doing a weapon, one day you're doing a keyframe, one day you're doing a costume, one day you're doing a robot, one day you're doing like Spider-Man's wrist thing,
Jeez.
and over the course of a week, you need to switch
Oh my
and be
God.
good at all these things. And I thought that was impossible, or just didn't. It's like you don't know. It's like it's like you don't know someone can be that good to even have that goal to try to go towards it.
Jeez.
And so for me, the Weta experience was like I didn't know people could be this good at so many things, and so many of them in one room.
Mm-hmm.
And then very quickly I realized like I I'm just at the start of this. I
Yeah,
have so long to go.
that's cool.
Um, and then I just shut up, and again you just like shut up and get back to work kind of thing.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I have so long to go. Look how good these people are at so many different things. Like this is incredible. I want that, and the only way to get it is through hard work and dedication over many years, um, in that kind of environment. And you just kind of have to like
Yeah.
put in the time, put in the years, and go for it.
Yeah, it does seem like once you're in the industry, you're kind of in it. Like it's just once you break in, whatever that looks like, you go from college to whatever, you get the connection, you get the opportunity, you get in. Because, like, even a college kid, everyone I graduated college with, I don't know about you, obviously I didn't go to art center or anything like that, but like everyone I graduated college with, there was no way we were like, yeah, you should work at Weta, dude. Like, no, we were all just barely figuring things out for just learning how to digitally paint, and myself included. I'm like, if you looked at my work, my senior work from college, there's no way that that's Weta quality. So there's definitely like some distance between most people who graduate art school from most art colleges and then the people that are qualified to work at like a Naughty Dog or like a Weta or whatever. There's like it's a very small
Well,
number.
some like context or clarity to even that situation. Like I feel like I'm very persistent with, hopefully without being annoying. So like the Weta job, I think that took almost a year, over a year to finally get it, of me
Mm,
trying.
mm,
So like I met the owner, Richard Taylor, at like a Comic-Con. One of my old teachers was like, "Hey, do you got your portfolio? I want you to meet someone." I brought my portfolio and showed Richard. He thought it was great, asked if I knew ZBrush. I said I didn't. He's like,
yeah.
"It's okay. We're working on The Hobbit and we might need some help." and gave me his card to keep in touch.
Wow.
And it took probably a year of me like checking in and, hey, how's it going? Wondering if you guys need any help. Here's a bunch of new work. Hope to hear from you soon. Kind of
Yeah.
like something kind of nice. But every time it was, I had improved quite a bit. I was checking in politely, and I was showing I can take feedback and grow at a pretty rapid pace. And it took a year of that.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they love me. A lot of the times, maybe you are ready.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I was ready when I first met him,
Mm-hmm.
but the timing wasn't right. But because I was checking in and like when those opportunities come up, it's like, hey, let's give this kid a chance who's been kind of knocking on the door.
Yeah, still there.
I think he feels pretty hungry. I think he'll probably do a good job.
Yeah.
And to be honest, the people I work with are kind of like that too. Are like a younger me who I'm like, I see the hunger, I see the drive that they're probably going to do a good job. I'll give them a shot. Not all of them work out, but maybe 80 or 90% of the time, those type of people is just like, I see what I was like.
Yeah.
And I know they're like I was, and are going to just do a good job. And anything they don't know, they're going to learn quick.
Yeah.
And level up. And that's,
Yeah. You can
but
see
again,
that.
it doesn't happen overnight. It's not like magic, like, oh my God, I'm working on
Yeah.
this job. It's like, it took a year of me busting my ass after meeting them, like a year of after meeting someone and then working super hard with no like guarantee that will ever happen. Just me hoping and working my tail off to like
Yeah.
hope that might happen someday,
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean, I definitely, obviously, you put in the work and it shows, and it's amazing. But it makes me think like Huxley. Like, would Huxley exist if you didn't get that first? If you sent your work to Wētā and they're like, nah, it's still not good enough. Like, sorry, we hired somebody else in that position. You just that opportunity missed. Or like, if you wanted to work on Halo and they're like, nah, we already have a guy that is like obsessed with Forerunner stuff. He's doing a
But
good job.
even Halo took a long time. Even after all those years, like it's just
You still had to keep sending them stuff and being
takes time.
please take me on.
Oh, even with all my friends there, like because it's like it's not their decision. It's like there's like a giant corporation around it. So it's like sometimes even that, just even if they all want me to, like it's just like the big machine that some of these studios are, is just sometimes takes time,
Yeah.
Like, oh, we can't hire you. The allocations are going to programmers. We really want you to be in here. Like, it's just the opportunity's there, but sometimes it's not the right time. Even with like 10 plus years of experience at that point, it was like, even that isn't like a guarantee. I think I still feel like that too, where it's like, even if I've been working this long, I feel like every job is still you should always treat it like it's your first job in the industry and you need to prove yourself, because you kind of do.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
It's like a whole new team.
You're only as good as your last thing.
Yeah.
You're only as good as your last painting. You're only as good as your last thing. And
Yeah.
if someone's never worked with you or never met you before, your first impression needs to be strong, and you always have to. I think that will never end.
Yeah. Yeah. And I could see also like the pursuit of developing your own IP and like just doing your own thing, being like, I'm tired of like trying to get into these projects that I can't, or that maybe is just going to require a lot of effort for me, or entire years of like portfolio rebuilding to get to work on this type of project. I'm just going to do it for myself. I'm going to do my own version. I'm just going to make my own. Like, if I can't work on a movie, or if it's just like it's not working out, the timelines don't line up, I'm going to make my own movie. And then I'm going to make my own IP that I can't make a video game. It's just not working out. It just takes too long. I keep missing, the portion, the time when pre-production starts. I'm just gonna make my own game, and I could see that kind of also feeding back, like the inability or like the grind of trying to get into the industry. I could see being like, what if I just put that energy into myself instead of trying to constantly tailor my portfolio towards other studios? If I just tailor it for myself and try to make my own thing.
I mean, I guess it's always back to like also just like, what do you want out of it? What do you want to learn? Like, if you feel ready, like again, like I always over prepare. So for me, it's just like, I don't feel ready unless I've gone through it. But some people can totally feel ready and do an amazing job without needing that much extra um, experience or prep work or
Yeah.
uh, things like I feel like maybe I could have done this 5 years earlier if I was just a little more confident in myself. But
Yeah.
I like to over prepare.
But it's nice now that you're in the position where other people are like, "Hey, I want to work at Huxley, or I want to help develop the thing." Like, you're not like
Yeah,
trying to get in. You're there. Now you're just like you're getting to
yeah,
give opportunity those same opportunities that people gave you to other people.
yeah. And I also like because I've been like those old videos I made like all the things that weren't so great that I went through, I tried to do the opposite. So if we can change things ourselves, we should totally do that. Um,
I agree.
like some work experience wasn't great. I'm gonna do the opposite and make sure it's not like that.
Hmm.
Like even on some of um, the books and illustrations, like some of the people I worked with were trying to at first they were treating it like a film job and like sending me like really quick updates like look I'm doing all this work and like no don't worry about that man like
Hmm.
do the painting that you think is so fucking awesome and would be like your favorite thing in your portfolio and when it's that then you send it to me
Nice.
and they were just like oh my god like
Yeah.
no one's ever said that to me before and I was just
Yeah.
like yeah like do that painting that you just think is fucking awesome and
Yeah.
is just you're so excited about it. Send me that
Yeah.
I don't care if it takes you like a week or whatever.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
when it's like that, then show it to me and yeah, don't worry about like every 6 hours or something.
Hmm. Yeah.
Like
Yeah. Because
just do the thing that you think is awesome and happy with, and
yeah, because
send that to me.
you also want somebody who's self-sufficient, who can solve their own problems and find their own answers to like, hey, what do you think of this? Like, no, you
Yeah,
figure that out. That's what I want out of you. I want you to be able to like
yeah,
you're your own one-man army, and then we can put you in a bigger army.
yeah. And that was I think that was part of Weta too, where it was like I don't know if they taught us to do that, but there was a sense of like we want people came to us because they wanted to see our like strong opinion about what something should look like. So it was a lot of it was just like, here's what your main character should look like, and it's all figured out.
Mm,
And if they say no, it's like great, but it's like it's a very strong statement about what this should be, and it's not like 20% of a drawing. Like, is this getting closer to what you want? Is this getting it's just like, no, here's your Superman, or here's your
yeah,
new Spider-Man outfit, or here's your cool robot soldier for your like
yeah,
this is what
yeah,
it looks like and look how cool that is
yeah.
and you have to like have a sense of like pride or like taste to be
Hmm.
like this is what cool is
Yeah,
here's what it looks like
yeah.
um and that's kind of hard sometimes a
Oh
lot of
yeah,
artists don't have that but it's a very good skill uh to
yeah.
foster in yourself.
It's a good. I feel like it's a good skill to learn early if you can earn it early, because that can really set you up for a lot of success, or at least a lot of like good big ideas later on. Is there any more artwork that you can show, or any stuff that you can screen share? I know you were showing.
What else would you want to see? I'm trying to see if there's any like Blender. I don't think I have any Halo stuff.
Ooh, Halo stuff would be
Let me
sick.
try to see.
I'm so curious about like
I'm
your process and stuff for like approaching.
because all the Blender files from later on would probably be all broken. I can show like
Oh, broken.
some Oracle stuff. Like all the textures are dead and like
That's all
everything's
right.
just like a mess.
I still we can go into we can look at the topology,
Uh,
see if the topology is good. See if there's a.
let me see. Uh,
Are the blend files just like does somebody else just is there? Are they holding them for now, like for you, and they just, or are they just not connected anymore? Like they're kind of not in working
oh,
condition.
like the Halo stuff would just be on their servers. Like we're not allowed to take anything.
No, no, I mean for like the Blender stuff for like Huxley, like the Blender
Oh, it's just
files.
because I transferred computers so many times, and they were like linked to some like texture on some
Oh,
random like download folder that is
oh
just doesn't
man.
exist anymore.
So the renders you have are the renders you have. You can't get more if you wanted to.
Kind of.
Oh,
Well,
dude.
I'd have to go find or make some old texture and reapply it and
Oh,
uh,
Ben.
basically remake.
Oh, come on, man. That's not. That's
Um,
That's like so
Let me
heartbreaking to hear
see.
that. You open up an old legendary beautiful file and you're like, oh, I gotta relink all the. I'm just not gonna do that. I'm just gonna not make any new ones because I would love to see the gray box or like the
Oh,
the gray texture.
let me see. We might have one here. When the demon explodes at the end. Oh yeah.
Explodes at the end. Hold on, let me cut to it.
I don't know if any of this. I don't think any of this is gonna
Oh
like actually
shit.
work. But like when
Oh, when he
he
gets
gets
torn
exploded
apart.
with all like, yeah.
Yeah, dude.
I don't think all the lighting works in this at all. Yeah, yeah. But like,
Damn.
yeah, I just built it all out. I think I was
You made
getting.
that?
I don't know if I was doing this. Yeah, yeah. I don't think I was did this at work, but like I was experimenting with. Maybe we were doing something with like. I remember I found this like generative like vine tool in
Yeah.
Blender. And
Yeah.
like it could like grow, and you say I want it to touch here and here, and it would just like simulate all these like growths. And I was
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, I wonder if I could do like, you know,
Yeah, yeah, you did
I think
it.
there's just like some
Oh,
scans
hey,
of
look at
stuff. I have
that.
some of
Are
the
those even
robots
in
just
the
thrown
shot?
around.
I don't think those are
I don't
even
think
in the
so,
shot. It's interesting. You have some like extra inefficient
but
scene
there's
building
probably some
there.
old Megascan stuff. I think these are probably some Megascan like debris or something else.
Oh, I
And then it
see.
was just like
I
the
didn't
demon model,
I didn't know you
and
used 3D
then
for that shot.
yeah, just like this explosion. But I really wanted to feel like it was just like coming from within it and
Yeah.
like blowing up and
Yeah.
really feel kind of violent, but give a strong silhouette.
Can you click on like the headpiece and go into edit mode for it? I just want to see the density of the.
This might be
Oh, it
pretty
looks like
low
it's been. Oh,
poly.
it has been.
This
Yeah,
might
it's been
this
re.
might be a low poly version. Yeah, I might have decimated it or something.
Mm.
Yeah, same thing with this is all pretty low poly. Yeah, that might be the lowest LOD or something.
So you got the render of it for lighting reference and stuff like that, and then you went in and painted over everything
Yeah,
else.
yeah, and painting into stuff. Yeah,
That's cool. What? Oh, you see the Ian Hubert little asset pack there. That's cool.
yeah, it might be some Ian Hubert thing.
Wait,
I don't know
click
if it actually used it anywhere.
click on the guy on the right, the guy that's standing there all the way on the right to see fully.
I think that's still the. Oh, that might actually be. Yeah, that might be the. That. I mean, it's a
That
little
looks
more dense, but not that
interesting.
dense.
Yeah, it's like the
A little more
different
dense.
the mixing the mixing
I
of the
think.
the densities makes it
But
looks
I
like
think
it's.
the guys weren't getting. I think this might be some ZBrush piece I made
Hmm.
because they weren't getting like the shapes I wanted, and then I sculpted something in ZBrush and sent to them.
Yeah, that's funny.
But these are still a bit low poly. Like those
Yeah.
were a bit all higher poly.
And were these characters ever rigged, or was it just like you kind of
Yeah, yeah,
take an
all
arm,
rigged.
pose it? Oh, so there's like a rig inside of it and stuff, like a skeleton.
This one is not. I think I just chopped that one up because I
Yeah.
didn't have the rig at that time. But there is a rigged version. But also, we've since turned these into like we've got the 3D print files. So I'm in the middle of trying like toys and stuff. So I have like early
Yeah,
3D
yeah. I saw
3D
ones that
print
looked like they were
chests.
like iron, weathered iron or something,
Yeah, yeah, and
bronze.
full metal.
Dude.
These two are almost are getting metal cast right now. But then I'm
Oh, they're
also doing
tiny.
one of the I'm also doing one of the phantoms. So the phantom will be like almost a couple 2 or 3 feet tall, like in pure metal. Will be really cool.
Damn.
Um, let me try to find another one.
These
Sorry, I
this
probably have
is
a lot of NDA
fun.
stuff when I'm.
This is fun to see, like the, cause I looked at some of the shots and some of them look fully painted and some of them have 3D elements in them and it makes me wonder like
Yeah,
you have this shot. Do you have this guy?
I don't know if they have that. Let me see.
Because once that was when I was like, oh, that's a full 3D shot right there. That's like a 3D
Yeah,
model of a
there's a
guy.
few shots that there's some that went through a lot of different versions, like the crash ship. Originally, that was all painted, and then I tried 3D, and then I didn't like it, and then I painted it again, and then I went back
Mm.
and forth. And actually, I might have that one, but I think I used Octane for that, so oh no, that's
Octane.
not right.
I remember you used Keyshot for a while too, right?
Yeah,
Keyshot for
yeah.
some of the renders. Oh, dude, this shot in the when they're in the elevator thing going down.
Oh yeah,
That's the other one that
that
made me
was a
think of
pretty simple
still
one.
the other one that reminded me of Akira. Because anytime I see those big platform elevators, I think of
Right,
Akira.
right. You kind of have to
Yeah.
like even in Metal Gear Solid, you're like,
Yeah.
ah, there's that
Yeah.
elevator.
There it is. That's there, it can only come from one place, and it's not even like that bad. I think the lightbox talk you gave shows a lot of shows off the 3D Blender side stuff really well because the artist there shows
Yeah,
the
a lot of that was
model.
from Nicholas. Nicholas and Steve have been doing a lot of the newer stuff. Um, let me see.
Yeah, man. Even if stuff is
This
missing textures, it's
was
fine.
this was like the shot at
Oh,
the
I
end with
love
the
that
robots
shot. I
around
love
the
that one.
sphere.
Yeah.
So this one was like pretty staged. That was, I mean, this is almost like 3D concept art at
Yeah.
that point. Um, I'm sure all these textures are broken now, but it was like pretty simple scene. I was at the time I was experimenting with a lot of like
Scatter.
grass, natural landscape stuff, so I was able to
Yeah.
like make that look pretty realistic.
Mm.
And then we had this robot done. I think I made some. I think I might have used like a Mixamo walking pose,
Mm-hmm.
and then I think I cropped out like 2 or 3 different keyframes, so it looked like some of
Mm-hmm.
them were in different
Yeah.
actions.
Yeah.
Um, and
So
then just painted over, edited anything.
so
Just like a sphere
uh,
of light.
so I with the demon, one of these guys is in there, but is with Huxley. Is one of these guys inside of Huxley, or is that a totally unique like robot body, like lore
These were more
wise?
like it was more like the data was
Data.
fractured
Mm.
to like so that it couldn't be just like stolen and taken
Mm,
off
mm,
world or
mm.
something. So it was more like how do we fracture the data to be like as safe as possible or
Yeah,
protected as much as possible.
yeah, but like you showed the progression of the demon, how he goes from one of these very
Oh, right,
basic
right, right.
robots into the big hulking one that we see. But the Huxley
It's more
robot,
like
it's a different
yeah,
robot.
yeah,
So is
yeah.
he
It's more
just
about there's definitely different like robots. The demon progression. It's more about like it becomes like a computer virus almost like
mm-hmm,
the
mm-hmm.
half completed data that went into some of these robots turn them into
Oh, okay.
it's like a corrupted version of the data and it almost becomes like a computer virus. I
Mm.
kind of get into that in the prequel, so you learn a little bit more about it.
Oh, I took it as like physically they're adding parts to themselves. Like those are the basic robots they start
That
like
too,
at.
yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. Yeah.
But then,
It's like one that's become infected and just like is needs more power, and so it's just like
yeah,
assimilating and like yeah.
okay.
Some of it wasn't really
Oh,
used 3D. It
yeah.
was just more like for like the shot, like oh, I want someone smashed up against the wall and all these spikes coming
Mm-hmm.
out of them. And it would just be like more rough reference, like okay, here it would kind of be from this angle, and
Yeah.
it would maybe look like that. Okay,
Yeah.
that's a helpful reference, just for like staging previs kind of thing.
Mm. So you would just use that
Trying
for
to think
lighting
of
and angles and stuff.
yeah, like okay, I haven't drawn a character from this specific angle because I was feeling like things were getting too like eye level, like flat, like
Mm-hmm.
people looking. So I was like, let's get some more dynamic angles when the story is getting to more of an action moment.
Mm-hmm.
Let me try to see.
Do you still play Halo?
Oh, it's been a while, but I still do. I'm trying actually kind of going back to playing like Halo 2 and ODST again. It's
Yeah. Did you are you playing it on
those are some of my
Xbox?
favorites on the PC.
On PC? Oh, through like Game Pass, or is it just like you just finding the
No, you a Master Chief Collection on Steam.
Oh, and you're playing campaign or are you doing multiplayer?
Yeah, just campaign,
Okay, nice.
the story stuff.
Dude, the I think I played all the way up to 4. I didn't think I played 5 and I didn't play Infinite. But yeah, I remember even the trailers for some of those early Halo games. I was just like jumping out of my seat, like watching the announcements, like, oh my god. Yeah.
Yeah, the early Halo marketing is so good still, man.
They just knew how to sell Master Chief and reveal it and announce it. I was always just like, Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
yeah.
Do you play any other
I don't know if
games?
there's any
Like,
other.
what are you doing when you're not working, staying up late past your bedtime, working on Huxley?
I still am quite addicted to Counter Strike.
Wow,
I'm
dude,
not very good at it. I'm not very good at it, but I
you're
still
still
kind of love
grinding.
it. Yeah.
I never got into Counter Strike. It seemed way too professional for me. Like, it seems way too like
It's so
snappy.
hard. Like, and it's not like the random stuff. It's like premier, like hardcore premier matches
Hmm.
where it's just like, I think because it forces you to focus so razor sharp,
Hmm.
and then you're always thinking like and making decisions very decisively because you have to think and make very clear actions because it's so hardcore. So it's like I need to click exactly on this person's face to
Yeah.
get the kill, and I don't know. It's just like so.
You don't do like aim trainers or
It
nothing like
forces you to
that?
focus. Forces you to focus so harshly. Yeah.
Do you do any of like the aim trainers? Do you play
No.
those?
No. I think just playing. I think you can play like uh, warm up matches and like deathmatch stuff, so you don't have to like wait
Hmm.
get stuck an hour playing a game or something and not get a kill or something, so you can test out all the weapons and stuff. I'm trying to
Do you
think
have
what
like
else.
a squad that you like play with usually? Or do you just
No,
play
just
by
always randoms.
Wow,
Yeah,
still
just
to this
luck of the
day?
draw. Luck of the draw.
You just
Yeah,
play by yourself. Man, there's probably a lot of
luck of
people
the
out there
draw. It's
who would
kind of
love to play.
fascinating. It's kind of fascinating. It's like you really get a sense of like I don't know. I had the funniest gaming moments
Hmm.
in some of those matches where like what was it like someone
There we
I don't
go.
know like one person like had an Owen Wilson
Soundboard?
profile.
Oh. Okay.
Just know, like their image was Owen Wilson, and the whole match, everyone just said the word "wow" with different intonation,
That's awesome.
like, and we won the match, and everyone's like, "Wow,
Oh, that's great.
wow," and
Wow.
someone said something mean like "wow," like just different, like almost like I am Groot kind of thing.
Yeah,
But the whole
yeah.
match was that, and everyone stayed in character. And I was like, that is so funny.
Dude, I love those
Like just
times.
the
Yeah.
most random. Like some of it's like really bad, and you're like, "Oh, get out of
Yeah,
here!
yeah, yeah.
You guys are so toxic." But some of the funniest, weirdest things and I don't know.
Oh, that's hilarious. That was always the things about like especially in those old Halo lobbies, those COD lobbies.
In
You
the
would make
COD
like
lobbies,
you would make friends. You'd be like,
I feel like
dude,
it's all gone. I feel like all that's
yeah,
gone.
I
But for some
play.
reason, Counter Strike didn't change. Like
Yeah,
I don't know what it was,
it,
but like I hadn't played online in a long time, and I saw Counter Strike 2. They're like, "Oh, Counter Strike 2 came out," and I was like,
mhm,
"I haven't played Counter Strike in like 10 years. Like, let me try
yeah.
this out." And it felt like that audience just
Wow,
didn't leave, and you're like, "This is kind of
that's
awesome, man.
cool.
Like, I
The
feel like
culture.
I'm back home or something."
Oh, that's
I don't know.
awesome.
It's really funny.
Maybe I'll check it out just because that I saw a video of somebody talking about like the latest upgraded graphics, and literally just
That's
me
really cool.
as a just a graphics nerd seeing like the bullet going through smoke, just that effect. I'm like, how did they do that? They thought of everything. There's geniuses. They're doing some weird shader
It's a
volumetric
little
tricks.
it's yeah, it's beautiful. It's kind of it's a little inconsistent because some of the visuals are so cool and realistic, but then the characters are a little stylized, almost like TF2,
Yeah.
which is great for visibility on the map. But
Hmm.
it's like, man, it would have been cool if they were realistic too.
Yeah.
But it's so there's a little bit of a like a harsh divide between character and environment that I wish would be a
Mm-mm-mm.
little more realistic. But from a gameplay, it works
It's
really well because
perfect.
like, oh,
Yeah.
I see the counter terrorist over there very clearly.
Yeah.
I like 'cause it's kind of flat. It's almost
Yeah.
like flat shapes, and it works. It's much better for gameplay. So you're like,
Yes.
it's okay.
Yeah. 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 Definitely.
This is one of Steve Wang's scenes for one of the other shots in the new book.
Ooh, shit. This is so much stuff.
These are way more dense.
Wow.
So Steve Wang and Nicholas Gecko are the main Huxley artists
Mm.
now on the new books,
Mm-hmm.
or at least the Oracle and the book after it.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're going like super to town on 3D environments, and
Wow.
this might crash the stream, but let me
I see those guys are a little bit rigged too, which is cool.
yeah, let's see. It might crash, but I clicked render. Let's see if it.
Oh
might
my
turns out
god, you did? Is it cycles?
It might.
Oh my god, Ben. Just go. It's fine. Could just go to like. It's fine. We'll just.
We've
wait.
already committed.
Yeah.
I can't.
I mean, you could always just
un-
like end
un-
task or something. You could go into the thing, but yeah.
True.
Do you have
It's
any?
probably gonna crash.
Are you using some like add-ons and stuff like? I see some photographer add-on. Like, are these like cinematic things? Oh, texture limit
Let me turn
2048.
off-
It's experimental too. Oh my god.
let me
Why
turn
is-
off 15.
Yeah, make that 16.
Steve always has his samples at like 9,000 or something. Crazy.
Oh my god, are you well, if it's a still,
It's like
it
2,000.
I do a lot of animation, so I use
But with denoise and stuff now, like you can set it pretty low and it turns out really good.
it's updating the meshes. We just have to let it do its thing. It's chugging. Oh my god, here we go. It's coming.
Something's
can-
happening.
Ooh.
There we go. I think there might be an extra light back here that's not in the final scene,
Damn.
but that looks like how it is.
So are you like
Punching
looking at this and art
all the
directing
textures
it?
are jacked up.
That's fine. That's fine.
No, usually it's like I just trust the guys to make the scene and shot they want. It's more of like, here's the story moments I need,
Mm-hmm.
and they see everything in sequence and in context. So it's like, here's the shots before. There's going to be a moment. It's almost like what Neill did for us for Elysium. That's kind of how I've been working. Like, okay, this is where they go next, and this is what happens. I need a few shots between here. Just show me something cool, what that would look like. That tells a story. But some of it would be very specific too, where it's like, okay, this character needs to be pinned up against a wall from the Phantom's hand smashing through his chest or something, or they try something like, oh, that's too gruesome. No one's gonna look at this page. We can't. It's too violent. It can be violent, but not that violent. Kind of thing. So a lot of it's just.
Is it like a lot
it's
of
like, oh, this shot's too simple. We need to make it more complex. This is like the last shot in the book or the second to last. It looks too simple. Like, let's figure out a way to make this more interesting. I think it was like a shot down of one of the characters on the ground, and then we ended up like making more of a grating so you see through the floor, so it felt like more interesting. I think it was just like a flat gray floor, and it's like cool, but something, it just needs to feel like it doesn't stick with you. You're like, oh, okay, someone's on the floor next. But now that shot, you're like, whoa, that's amazing. Like,
this is interesting. Yeah. Are you moving? Okay, you are. I see. Oh my god, you got the full volume cube in there. That's what's doing it. If you turn that volume cube off, I bet it would speed up the render a lot. Jesus.
If we can get like that.
Yeah. Turn that volume cube off.
Yeah, their scenes are way more dense. No, then we get all the.
I know, but you gotta. Or you can switch into Eevee. We can do an Eevee version.
True.
Eevee volumes render like a million times faster than cycles. I love it. And you can finesse Eevee.
And the new Eevee is really good.
Yeah, you can. I've been using it. I've been using a lot of volumetrics in Eevee, and it's like so buttery smooth, and it looks good too. So then, are you just kind of doing like napkin sketches and describing the shots, and then they go in and make them, and you just like trust that they're gonna look awesome?
Sometimes, yeah. A lot of the times, though, I just trust. At this point, I just trust them to like I know whatever they do is going to be cool. Sometimes it's like maybe not the right, like one of the recent shots was like a spaceship crashing into the desert, and like it was cool, but it's like, I really need a shot from this specific angle. Can you send me the scene, and I'll compose some shots that maybe we could try, kind of thing.
Dude, this is fun. You should when you get to a place when like this comes out, maybe next year or something, You should give a talk at like BlendCon and show how you've been using Blender for a lot of your stuff. I think they would think it's really
Yeah,
cool.
or yeah, maybe me, Steven, Nicholas can all give some, because they're more the power users now. I still use it a lot, but like they're I've been managing a big
Yeah.
thing now, and I'm definitely not
Oh
up to speed
man.
to how far along there.
I hope that you don't end up going into the role of like manager guy and not like
I don't
making
want
art.
to.
Yeah, that'd
Yeah,
be
I
a
don't want to.
shame.
I mean, part of me, but that's part of the reason I wanted to like do a licensing thing, so that I could still be an artist. But also like I think once the first 3 books are out, I want to try to find a way to block out a few years to do another one myself.
Wow, dude. It's gonna be
But
yeah.
it'll be a big commitment to do that again.
So is Huxley just like your work for
It'll be
the
fun.
is are you thinking like Huxley from here on out, anything I work on, anything I put money into, it's probably gonna be this IP.
I think so. Man, it's getting worse with Eevee. Shit.
Yeah, maybe we could just close it.
Because it's all GPU.
Yeah, it's got
Yeah,
ray
I'll shut
tracing
this off.
turned on. It's all right. We saw it. I got the gist of it. I mean, it looks immaculate from what you have, what the team is building. And I think your camera died. Oh, I think he dropped out. I think his Discord crashed.
Yeah, that did it.
Did your whole like Discord crash?
Killed it. The Eevee. Yeah, the Eevee killed it.
Uh-oh.
Okay, that's good. We're good. Eevee, the Eevee killer.
Sorry.
It's interesting that Cycles didn't do it.
Yeah,
It's
I
all
mean,
good.
yeah, no, I'm sure that team was probably made for Cycles. It was optimized to like work well with it. So Eevee just converts a bunch of stuff, and it can definitely take a minute to load. Yeah, I mentioned the Blender talk because I submitted to give a talk at this year's BlendCon about the Akira stuff, all that Akira stuff, because I used Eevee for it, and
Right.
it's not highly technical, but I oh, sorry. Making sure my audio. Do you still hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good. Sorry. Yeah, no, like the analytics for that video are like 50% Japan. So I'm just like, okay,
Right.
people are messing with this. They like this. So maybe Otoma has seen it, maybe not. I don't know. That would be amazing. Um, but I just had so much fun with it, and I, found new ways to use Blender and Eevee and everything. So I wanted to like explain just my process a little bit because it's
For sure.
coming into Blender as a 2D artist. It's almost like when you're playing an open world video game and you've like collected everything there is to collect in like this world, and then you go into this secret tunnel. It's like, oh, there's a whole separate world over here that I have not explored or collected anything in. I'm gonna start exploring this one. That's kind of how learning 3D felt. I felt like with 2D I hit like a ceiling, like a technical ceiling. I can draw anything. It's getting boring. I started getting bored with it. So then when I started learning 3D, I was like, oh, I can bring new life to my old concept sketches or my old ideas that I had that I never took anywhere. I can build them in 3D. I can light them. It just, yeah, Blender has really changed how I approach art and like the kind of confidence I have coming into it. So I love that. And it's cool seeing how you're using it too.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of it now is very, it's more like 3D concept art kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just
But a
quick.
lot of it's just like for key scenes and blocking things out, building things custom where we need to, using Kibash stuff where it's just in the background. But if we end up using it for anything more, we have to make it custom anyway. So
Mm-hmm.
it just depends like when we do more custom stuff and when we don't, just for efficiency.
Cool. All right, man. Well, was that like a good amount that you wanted to share? I don't want to like make you
I
keep
think so,
showing
yeah.
stuff.
It's
Yeah.
definitely getting late over here. It's
Yeah, yeah,
probably extra
yeah.
late for you.
Yeah, well, I'm used to it anyway. I'm always like staying up like till 4 a.m. working on something. I need to finish this for some reason. No one's asking for it, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, the thing for me is I'm going to like a Canada Comic Con, Toronto Comic Con next week.
Oh wow.
And it was like super last minute. So they're like, oh, yeah, we should have a booth. And I was like,
Oh
dude,
my
you guys got to
God.
tell me this like sooner. So I'm
Uh,
like, I gotta print out some stuff to, or like mock up some like things to print out and try to get it done by
oh
Thursday. And
my
just like,
God, dude.
um, so I found some ones that can get it done in like 2 or 3 days. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like the publisher's gonna print some stuff, but in case they don't, I want to have stuff on my end as a backup. But it's more for me to do interviews and stuff for the book, so people
Yeah.
can like, because that's another thing. It's just like, how do I,
Yeah.
who do I, what's like the comic book podcast to
I
go
don't
on? What
know.
is the how do I get it in front of like the comic book guy that loves European graphic, because it's such a specific
Yeah.
genre. Like if you showed this to American comic book Spider-Man guy, he would hate it. But if you showed it to like a Euro guy who
Interesting.
loves Meta Baron or something, he'd be like,
Yeah.
fuck yeah, this is really cool.
Yeah.
There's so many subgenres in comic books.
Mm.
It's like getting it to the right people who will
Yeah.
hopefully get the
Dude,
references and think
I
it's cool.
I think you're definitely doing everything right. I don't think you're missing anything. I think you're grinding and you can definitely see that you're passionate about this thing. You want to get it out there. You want people to see it. You are it's like a part of you. It's a part of your story as an artist and like I said, like you can just see all of that and me being as a fan of your work over the years, I feel like I have like a special attachment to it. Not like, through you, through following your work, through your career, and like seeing all the stuff you've been a part of. Just this is like this existing as a part of you and your career, and your like saga. I thought it would just be like it's like a must-have, and yeah, I'm a fan of your work. Oh, and Huxley, the name was that inspired by Aldous Huxley, the author?
No, it wasn't.
Oh,
It was kind of like I wanted, like when I did the drawing, that was just the name. Like it's just like this is Huxley.
hmm,
Uh, when I was working on it, when I finished it, like it was just kind of like that. It wasn't like
interesting.
I'm gonna research it, but it was like also kind of like I wanted my simple Akira kind of name that sounds cool,
Text, yeah.
also, but has meaning to me. But like that was my, I don't know, that was the name
Yeah,
that just was
yeah,
like that's who this is.
yeah. I mean, even if it's not, I mean, still being a part of sci-fi culture is still fitting. Like Huxley, that's like a well-known name in the sci-fi like book scene. So like, I think it fits perfectly in there, even if it's just coincidence. Um, but yeah, dude.
It's interesting though, like the name, because like I have friends whose last name are Huxley
Really?
also, and there's so many people in Japan with like Akira as their last name or like a first name, like
Yeah.
Akira
Yeah,
Kurosawa or
you're
like
right. You're
whatever,
right.
it's
Yeah.
like there's a lot of people with Akira, so it's
Yeah.
like in Japan it's probably like that too. Like why would you call it, like when he
Yeah.
started it, he's like, why are you calling it that?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's weird.
Yeah.
It's
That's
like,
so
no, that's
common.
just that's the name. That's what I think is cool.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, yeah,
Well, either way, I think it's still good. It's like not like associated with like something that's unrelated. If it's associated or like referenced, or again, I just feel like it adds to the to like the heaviness of like it's a sci-fi classic and it lives in the sci-fi space. I think it gives it more like credibility in that way, and it helps and puts it in that space better. Um, all right, so we can wrap this up because again, it's
sure.
pretty late for me. It's like probably midnight for you. Dude, a lot of me talking to you was I just wanted to talk to you because you're like, you know, I idolized your work for such a long time. It's absolutely insane to me that we're even talking, that you're making the time for this. And I know that the Huxley thing is gonna go a long way, and I'm hoping that you keep posting about it, like as new things
For
come
sure.
out. Got the comic panels, like all the. I want you to keep posting online, like your videos, like talking about things, showing your process. Like I'm sure
I'll
that's
try to
like
do
a
that.
whole
Yeah.
extra effort, but dude, like
Well,
the
because I'm trying to because of the, like this is all like can edit out, but like
sure,
um I'm trying to rebrand everything. I'm in the middle of remaking my old personal site.
mm,
Um Specifically because of like if I go and try to like raise money for an investment, like who's this guy? And they check out my like 15-year-old portfolio site, they're like,
yeah, yeah,
I don't know if I'm gonna,
yeah, yeah. I get it.
why would we give this person money? So it's
Yeah,
like gonna be rebranded and like redone. to feel really like, I think right now we just have like a temp thing on my old site where it's
Mm-hmm.
like it's kind of the new style, but there's no content on it yet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
But
I've
it'll
seen
be
it.
really cool, and it'll be like more about like, here is this um, very experienced person who's worked with the biggest directors in the world and made billions of dollars for
Yeah.
them, and now he's working on his own
Yeah.
thing, and kind of frame it more
I
like
can see
that,
that. Yeah.
uh, and almost feel like a, not necessarily feel like an investment venture capital site, but like the way those people make their sites, it kind of feels like you should invest in it. Like, it
Yep.
just,
Yep.
if you
Yep.
were an investor, you're like, oh, that looks pretty valuable. I'll
Yep.
invest in that. Like, it kind of has this feeling.
Yeah.
Um, so it's just whole like part of the strategy of
I
just like,
get
okay,
it.
this will come out in a couple months. It'll look really slick. If we have a demo ready and we go out and try to do this, like all the ducks will be in a row, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And give it its best shot. Um,
Well, dude, I mean, I hope that like you and I can still stay in some form of contact. I know you're gonna be swamped and like I don't have anything to give you. I don't have like anything to offer you like in terms of like adding value to Huxley, but like I'll I mean, I'm a fan. I'll definitely tell all my friends about it and I don't know. It's just like I feel like you're doing more of a favor to me than I'm doing for you. I wish I could give you something in return, but
that's all good, man.
I'm just a huge fan of your work, and I've seen again. We can edit this out, but I've seen you be on some interviews where I'm just like, they don't really know Ben. Like, they're just talking about this one thing. It's like there's so much more, so many more questions again, and I think I got to ask most of them, and we got to cover most of it. So I just, yeah, as a fan of your work, man, thanks for doing this. This is like part of like a dream come true.
Yeah,
There's
no
like
worries.
a handful of artists that it's like one day I could talk to them in some form or another, whether it be at a con or like something like this. But you're definitely like a, in terms of art, checklist of the people I've always wanted to talk to on any level. Like, so yeah, thank you for that.
Thanks, man. I really appreciate it. And I'm kind of a hermit, and I'm always just here working on shit. So like, I'm always here, and I probably don't really go out enough to like Lightbox Expo and stuff. So people don't usually get to meet me anymore because I'm just like
Yeah,
stuck here doing too many things. So
damn,
like, podcasts and stuff like this is probably the best
cool.
way to do it. But I'll try to
Maybe
make
Counter
an
Strike.
effort.
Maybe I'll catch you in the
Or Counter Strike, yeah,
Counter Strike
yeah.
lobbies or something.
If you get your premier rank, we can play.
Oh, okay.
um,
I have a goal now. Yeah. All right, man. Well, dude, again, this was
one other
amazing.
thing,
Oh, sorry.
do
Go
we
ahead.
need to do like an intro, like, hey, I am so and so, and this is what I do, or is it
Um,
just like you kind of throw people into it?
I just kind of throw people into it and throw people out of it. It's just kind of like
Cool,
a glimpse into the current conversation. I've had
cool.
only one. Like, there's gonna be a second one that comes out after the first one. This is maybe the third or fourth one that'll
Mhm.
come out. But it's just more because I'm a nerd. I want to talk to my favorite people and I want to poke around in their files and I want to see, hey, click on that. What does that
Awesome.
do? That kind of thing. But also the transparency of like, here's how you make stuff. Like the guy I talked to before you, a good friend of mine named Amir, he's also trying to create a graphic novel. So I think the balance, I mean, he's never worked in the industry. He's like brand new and he's just trying. He's just had this story, he's trying. And I talked to him a lot about world building and kind of like ins and outs of how are you going to do this. He's like, I think I'm going to do a Kickstarter, just like all these entry level kind of attempts.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So and he just recently got a copy of his actual book and like that feels special in its own way. And he's like a young guy, so it's just like talking to you I think is a very good like showing the broad range
Yeah,
of
yeah.
all the types of people that can go into this industry and where they can kind of end up.
I think one of the things, I don't know where I read it. It might have been like Seth Rogen or some actor said this, where he's like, when he was talking about like someone asked him like you've done so much, like how did you make it in Hollywood? And he said something like, if you don't give up, like if you keep trying, something will eventually happen.
Hmm.
Like, it may not be what you think, but if you keep trying every single day, in and out, something will eventually happen.
Yeah.
He's like, I've had so many friends who tried to break into the movie industry or TV industry. They got one rejection and they gave up, and that was it.
Yeah.
But the people that kept going back and back and back, like rejection after rejection after rejection, and kept going, something eventually happens.
Yeah.
Again, it's almost like what happened to me. It's like the opportunity is there, but it's the wrong time, or they like you, but it's the wrong project. And like most people get too discouraged about that and just like, oh, I give up. I'm gonna go do something else. But it's like keep trying. The things will line up at some point, and something will happen. And sometimes things just take way longer than you expect. Like even Huxley, I thought that would take not this long. It took way longer than I thought. And even when it's out, it's not like nothing happens overnight. It's like, okay, it's a slow grind. Once it's out, it's like a slow thing as it goes out into the world, and the next book comes out, and the next book, and it's just slow build. Let's see where it goes.
Yeah.
You gotta try.
Are you tired of talking about Huxley?
No, I don't think so, because the next book's almost coming out, and like I'm really excited about that. And then the book after that is almost finished.
Oh my god.
And then the third book is the one, or technically the fourth book, but the third story. That one's, the script's almost done, but the art's like maybe half done. Wow. That one's needs a bit more time, maybe a year. That one's maybe like a year.
Wow,
more
dude.
work on that one, but then that'll be the trilogy. The trilogy will be done. The second one's basically done. It's just finishing the second part of the book. But yeah, then the trilogy will be done, and then I got to figure out if I do Forward in Time after the graphic novel story, the first one.
You should.
Because it kind of goes like kind of crazy future, and it could go very space opera or something else. It was kind of too weird. That's why I was like, I'm going to go backwards. Like, that feels very expensive.
Let
me tell some more human stories further in the past. And then I'll figure out if maybe I'll tell stories in between those or further in time, closer to when Huxley was a person.
So
like there's a lot of possibilities in time,
that'd be nice. Damn, dude, I cannot wait. I'm gonna be waiting for it. Patiently waiting. I'm not, I can wait. But it's cool. It's cool to kind of also have this documented, right? Like part of this podcast is to kind of where like it's like literally clicking the edit mode on your career. What's going on right here. So like this, if Huxley ends up being this big multi-franchise, it would be really cool for people to come back and be like, hey, there's Ben talking about the first graphic novel and all the, he had less gray hair and all this kind of stuff.
Still a lot of gray hair. It's already pretty gray. I don't know how we can get more gray.
It's gotta be from lack of sleep, man. I don't know when you sleep.
That too. But it's interesting though. Like I'm glad that's why we did the documentary, because like if I do a second one later, it'll be like all this other stuff. Like and then we did this, and we're thinking about that, and blah blah blah. And it's like almost like a timestamp, like you said. But also I remember when District 9 came out. And I just thought it was like the coolest thing ever. And there was like a director commentary from Neill.
Oh, really?
And he recorded it before the movie came out. and he was like, I don't know if he was like insecure about it, but he was just like, yeah, so hopefully the movie came out and you thought it was okay.
Wow.
And this is what we were trying to do. And it was like, oh my God, this was like the craziest shit ever. Like it was so awesome. But he's just like, oh, I hope people liked it when it came out.
Wow.
It's just like, man, that's really cool.
That's cool, man. Yeah, I think again, even just you having connections and like just being friends with Neill, like what an insane like thing, like it's a titan, I think, of the industry, and you're just like, yeah, I know Neill, we're friends, like on, you know what I mean? Like there's like this,
that close.
You've worked with you've seen him in person. That's more than like most people who are.
I don't know if I did see him in person actually.
He liked your work. I don't know. Elysium.
Like one time.
They copied one of your concept pieces and put it into the movie. Like that's just well, dude. All right. I'm gonna just I'm gonna call. I'm gonna start recording, dude. Thanks for doing this.
Sure.
I really appreciate it.
Thanks so much, man. Yeah, it was fun.